Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Tuesday, April 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 74. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of OTB Mailbag at 8 a.m., and Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football joins us at 9 a.m. to talk Saints. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, everyone? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, Danny, hanging out with you today, Tuesday, April 11th, 2023. And, well, it's kind of that time of year. Now, look, we got a lot to get to today, okay? Okay. It's maybe a bit of, stuff that we have created out of thin air, but interesting nonetheless. Actually, we're going to start with football, something that we rarely talk about on this show, at least here recently, as ESPN has a top 10 quarterbacks article, and I want to break down why I think there may be no quarterback in the country more poised to take a massive step forward than your quarterback, Jayden Daniels. We also got, we got top coaches coming up later. We got some action coming up in both the softball and baseball diamond tonight. Number 1 ranked Oklahoma coming to Tiger Park for the final midweek game of the year in Tiger Park. Wait until you hear about what Oklahoma has done this year. I will give you this as a little teaser. They've won 28 games in a row. In fact, they've lost 1 game on the year. And they lead the nation in batting average, fielding percentage, and are second in ERA. They have a 0.91. 0.91. But hell yeah, man. Coming to Tiger Park tonight. It's going to be a massive game, so we'll get to that as well. We got to shout out Alexis Morris and LaDasia Williams getting drafted last night. We got our OTB mailbag in hour number 2. Unfortunately, no Coach Mulkey today, as that season has now come to an end. We'll talk a little NBA play-in games. Wrexham.
Whoa.
And then
don't
hour
Wrexham
3.
like that.
We got Nick Underhill. Obviously, kicking off hour 3 talking Saints. And then we'll probably make fun of the Pac-12. Dalai Lama trying to tongue kiss a boy. Moni Mike at ESPN. We got a lot in hour 3 to get to as well. Are you shaking your head? It was weird, Danny. It's very odd. I was not. I thought that it was kind of going to be people with an axe to grind that were interpreting this video odd, but then I saw the video. I'm like, okay, that's. I think we all feel a little uncomfortable, so we're going to attempt to make the whole audience uncomfortable in hour number 3. But it was kind of a sad sign of the type part of the calendar that we are in, Jake, as we're coming into the show and Sports Center Top 10's on, as it always is at the end of the hour, right? And you can use the top 10 as a great barometer for what is going on in the wilder world of sports. And so when I see 2 of the top 5 are diving catches from a men's beer league, it looks like. One might have been small college. One was without a doubt a men's beer league. And then the number 1 top 10 play was a pretty routine diving catch in Texas and Texas State. Fully in which part of the calendar we are entering. Thank God for LSU baseball to carry us over these next couple of months. But anything to say on that, Jake, before we get into some football? I don't want to start in such a negative spot. It was just pretty jarring seeing that top 10 right before this started. And now, of course, it's Kendrick Perkins telling us the Lakers are going to the finals.
He's not the only one. It feels like there's a couple of people on ESPN that think the Lakers will go to the finals. You might need to check those future odds. That actually might be some great value there. But yeah, I can confirm The number 3 play on the ESPN top 10 list was from a beer league softball game.
Yeah. A hell of a catch.
It was.
He went over the fence.
He went over the plastic netting fence.
Yeah, I guess that's when you knew it was a beer league. It was literally a collapsible plastic net that he fell over, but he did catch it. So shout out to that guy. Get on the SportsCenter top 10. Hell yeah, man. All right, let's start, though. Look, as always, youtube.com/1045ESPN. If you want to get in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, come hang out with us. If you want to, hitting the like button, all that stuff, that really helps us subbing to the channel. And you can always subscribe to Off the Bench for all of our segments kind of broken out. Let's talk a little LSU football. As ESPN.com got their 12 college football writers, and you know I love a numerical. Not only do I love a list, Jake, but I love a list that is created through an equation, right? I talk about the athletic quarterback tier list all the time, where they get together all the executives, coaches, everybody else, and they assign each quarterback a tier, and then they average those numbers out and see where everybody falls. Well, ESPN did something similar where they got together their 12 college football writers, and they said, hey, give me a ballot of the top 10 quarterbacks in the country. A guy who's in first got 10 points. A guy in 10th got 1 point. And then they combined all those ballots, and there it was. The equation spat out a top 10 quarterback list. And we can talk about the list itself in a bit, as it's got Caleb Williams 1, Michael Penix Jr. 2, actually above Drake May. And I think that is accurate, but we can get into that later. Bo Nix 4, Jordan Travis 5, Cam Rising, glad to see Rising this high, 6, Sam Hartman 7, J.J. McCarthy 8, Jayden Daniels 9, and Jaylen Daniels from Kansas at 10. But we, are in Baton Rouge, Rennell's show, and I want to focus on Jayden Daniels. I want to pick your brain on this, Jake, because I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I don't think this is hyperbolic, though maybe it is. That's for you to decide. I'm not sure that there is a quarterback in the entire country poised to make a bigger jump than Jayden Daniels. And how I arrive here is not fully homerism, right? There is some logic here. As when you look at Jayden Daniels, I would say that kind of a defining trait of his career has been kind of untapped potential, right? Ever since that first year at Arizona State, where he threw 17 touchdowns, just 3 picks, he had the big Oregon win. Like, he looked so great, and instead of improving, he regressed as the years went on in Tempe. Now, time goes on. As you get distance from things, you learn what was actually going on. And we can see that the Herm Edwards situation at Arizona State was clearly a mess. I mean, we should have known it from the beginning, the press conference, but clearly a mess, completely dysfunctional, and you saw that. And so, all of a sudden, Jayden Daniels leaves, and he joins a team late. He came before spring, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he joined the team in January. Basically has 8 months to learn a new staff, new team, new culture, as that new staff is learning the new building, new culture. So everything's new at that point. And in 8 months, what does he do? He starts to fulfill some of that potential that he flashed freshman year. But there still were, things to improve on. But think about that. In 8 months, he made himself so good that he's now getting put on top 10 returning quarterbacks in the nation lists. And so if you want to start to think about it, Jake, it becomes very exciting to think, okay, so what happens if I give that same guy another year where he knows he's the starter and the most stable environment he's ever been in, the best coaching staff he's ever had, the best offensive line he's ever had, and the best weapons he has ever had. Like, I don't think it's crazy for us to expect Jayden Daniels to take a massive leap forward. At least the potential is there to take a bigger leap forward than any other quarterback in the country.
I'd agree with you. And again, this is like a list put together of 12 different people. This is not just us saying it here in Baton Rouge. And so for him to be on this list is big time, because when you look at some of the guys not on this list and guys that fell just short, Will Rogers at Mississippi State, KJ Jefferson at Arkansas, Michael Pratt at Tulane, Spencer Rattler, Cade Klubnik at Clemson, Devin Leary
only got 3 points.
Yeah, Joe Milton at Tennessee. So Dylan Gabriel. I mean, so a lot of names that a lot of people, even a casual college football fan, would recognize not on this list, and Jayden is firmly on this list. And so I agree with everything you said about what this year could be. And Brian Kelly's talked about recruiting him back, and him working year-round to be the best possible quarterback that he can be. Also remember, last year at the end of the season, before they knew who was declaring for the draft and who was going to put their name in it, he was a top 7 quarterback on Mel Kiper's big board.
Oh, wow.
He came in at number 7. So, he could have tested the waters, and he would have been a drafted player. Now, where he would have been drafted, you never know, and how that process works out. But he was a top 7 quarterback for Mel Kiper after the season was finished. So he could have, jumped to the NFL. He had a decision to make. It wasn't just, hey, you have to come back to school. So Brian Kelly talks him back into coming to school. I found it kind of funny here in the article. It said Brian Kelly recently recruited Daniels back for one final season when he could have tested the NFL draft, putting together a year-round training program for him and helping his player from California find the elite quarterback trainer on the West Coast.
So Kelly did that.
Yeah, that's
for
what it
Daniels.
says.
And we've also heard whispers from Denbrock and others. Who was it that left recently that was talking about the amount of work that Daniels has been putting in? I'm having like snatches of off-season storylines pop in my head. I just remember hearing that, look, you're going to be shocked at just how much work Jayden Daniels has been putting in this offseason. And the best part is that it's not like it's unclear as to what he needs to improve upon, right? Like it is very clear, right? Pushing the ball downfield, maybe a little more pocket work, like these bigger explosive chunk plays, being willing to engage in more risk, all the things that we talked about through the entire season. And it becomes terribly exciting when you think about, okay, remember the guy, because think about the guy that you saw last year in that Alabama game, beating Alabama, where that Alabama defense just could not stop him. Couldn't stop the offense, but why? Because they couldn't stop him. And I just think about him running into the end zone in overtime, looking cool as hell, basically like sucking his teeth, side-eyeing the dude, trying to keep up with him. Well, what happens if all of a sudden he is a top 10 pure passer in the entire country? Like if he is suddenly able to take advantage of Malik Neighbors and others downfield in this LSU receiving corps, well, then how do you stop him? You can't. He becomes unstoppable. And that becomes very exciting. And I think, now he has to follow through on this, right? But I think there's a lot of elements in play that could push us there to being incredibly excited about him. So I would say right now, for what it's worth, and look, a guy like J.J. McCarthy's probably in this conversation as well, because he's on this top 10 list as a kind of potential guy, right? Because what he did late in the year, the improvement you saw, like McCarthy would also feel like he is poised to take a major step forward, but I'm not sure that anybody is going to take a bigger one forward than Jayden Daniels.
No, because the rest of the people in this list, like you have Sam Hartman and Notre Dame coming over from Wake Forest. You kind of know what he is. Certainly you know what Cam Rising is. Jordan Travis being on this list. That's a very interesting name. And it's just another point just to set up what we're going to see in the opener there in Orlando. So it's a list that has obviously like some studs on it. It has some lists that has some studs left off of it. And I think I agree with you. Number 9, Jayden Daniels, has a lot of room to continue to push up this list and be a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, Travis, you burned me last year, okay? You're not going to get me sleeping again. Nobody's going to take you lightly. I apologize for saying you couldn't throw last year. I'm obviously an idiot.
Let me ask you a question about some of Jayden Daniels' early season struggles. Now, he had plays early in the year, but there was a point when it felt like he was trying so hard to get Kayshawn the football.
Yeah.
Right? Almost not going through his progression, almost trying to force the issue because, look, I understand your star player is, some bad body language out there. You want to get him involved. He wasn't involved early. He would come over to the sidelines. He would talk with him, right? How much of that affected some of his growth early in the season? Because once that kind of went away, once it was like, hey, Malik Neighbors, I'm finding you. You saw that relationship really start to grow. I wonder how much of that affected his early season growth as a quarterback, because it looked like every time he come to the sidelines, it might not have affected him, at a level 10, but it was certainly something that was there.
No, I mean, it can happen, man. It can certainly happen. I know. I am not. Yeah, you might think I'm doing a bit here. I am not. But you honestly did see some of that, and the numbers support that with Derek Carr and Devontae Adams last year. Like, you should never get worse when you have an elite receiver. Now, granted, right, I don't there's arguments to be made about whether or not Kayshawn was elite anymore at that point last year. But you should never get worse, but it can be a net negative. Like, Carr way over-targeted Devontae Adams at an unsuccessful rate. Like, I want to say they had one of the lowest targets to catch ratios in the entire NFL, and it was a ton of targets. Like, at least credit Daniels for kind of relatively early starting to back off of that and being like, look, I just have to have success, even if it means my read is comfortably telling me to throw to Mason Taylor when everybody's telling me not to throw to Mason Taylor. No, so I think that was the problem early on, Jake. And I mean, I think it was just new. Everything was just new. And you saw a quarterback that continued to get better and better and better each week until you got these steps back against kind of Arkansas and A&M a bit later. But look, great bowl game, good in the SEC championship, still way more good. Again, when's the last time LSU had a top 10 returning to quarterback? We did it the other day. I mean, when did we go back to? Did we go back to Rohan? Did we even grant Rohan that?
It was at least Jamarcus.
But was Jamarcus a top 10 returner?
Well, no, his junior year obviously was the year.
Yeah.
We were trying to think of someone that even had like the potential of a top 10 returning quarterback. Obviously, Flynn was a first-year starter, so he didn't have that.
Nope.
Even Matt Mock, a lot of people, had questions about Mock until he went out there and won a natty.
Burrow was never viewed as top 10 entering the year. Look, the point is, you get it. It's been a very long time, and not only do you have a top 10 returning guy, but a guy who maybe is poised to take a massive step forward. So we'll see. We will see. Coming up next, we can keep talking about this list here for a little bit, as I want to see maybe where it's right, where it's wrong. Gets a little LSU Oklahoma as well. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
As this conversation is showing, experience matters, right? Okay. Well, it's in all facets of life, including plumbing. And if you need plumbing help, or a bathroom remodel or upgrades or anything like that, why don't you go to the company, guys, that's been doing this since 1977. That's a long time. That's nearly 50 years now. And it's centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, licensed, bond, insured, flat rate pricing, great warranty, 24/7 emergency service. I don't want you to think twice. Any problem with your pipes, centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, go to that website. You can see that the full fleet is ready to go no matter what you need. If you're looking to remodel, that's home or business, no job is going to be too big for them to handle. Also, if you're looking to go tankless with a tankless water heater, you can find that information right there on the site as well. You can always call 225-925-8552.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCoRoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364.
It's on. Join me for Tuesday's edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. The Tigers are headed to New Orleans to play Tulane, so we'll talk Glenn West on the Tigers and Sharif Ishak on New Orleans. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Team of Jake Bart, Danny hanging out with you today. Our boy Patrick Vines in the Bayou YouTube chat says, if there's anyone you know who they are, it's a who has started for 4 years, like Jayden Daniels. He struggled with St. M, struggled with Arkansas. He struggled all year. He had a great year. I mean to say, though, that his struggles were established and were the same. And then he goes on to say, look, his ceiling has been hit. We all know the limitations. They did not change. Off the bat, I'll say this. Look, I understand where you're coming from, certainly, because normally, Jake, a guy who has started that long is a known quantity.
Right.
Unfortunately, you are, either accidentally ignoring or willfully ignoring the change in setting and the impact that can have. And if you're accusing me of just trying to argue to support my argument, sure, whatever, or if you think that I'm just saying, well, the change in setting had massive, how about we just go to numbers, right? Like I didn't, I can't make up numbers, right? So you tell me his ceiling has been hit, right? Except in 2021, his third year starting, when he should have been a known quantity, right? In 2021 at Arizona State, he threw for 2,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, 10 picks. And then in 2022, he throws for 3,000 yards, 17 touchdowns, 3 picks. So what are we talking about? We are talking about a huge, demonstrable, numerical step forward. So you can tell me that he's a known quantity and that he is who he is, but he played better than who he was. And again, the theory here is that with more time on task, same coordinator, same staff, same players, knowing you're the guy throughout the entirety of the offseason, knowing Baton Rouge, knowing the culture, the school, everything else, that you could maybe expect another demonstrable, numerical step forward. So I get what you're getting at with Jayden Daniels is already a known quantity because he started for 4 years, but not all roads are created equally, right? And there are very clearly elements in Jayden's journey that would point to growth still to be had. He also, that was just the passing numbers. He also rushed for 100 more yards and 5 more touchdowns. The bottom line is that Jayden Daniels was a significantly better player last year than he was the year before, and I think there's potential. And yes, look, when he was bad, it was in the ways that he has struggled with in his career. But those are the things that you continue to work on, and now he's in a better environment than he ever has been before to try to fix those things. So that's how I feel comfortable saying that a guy who's going to be now a fifth-year starter can still take a big step in improvement-wise.
Yeah, and you saw him get better within the year as well. And so, like, you saw growth throughout the year. And also, like, you have a backup quarterback at LSU that is very capable. So I don't think we're arguing Jayden Daniels just to make you feel better about the LSU quarterback situation. Yeah. You have somebody in Garrett Nussmeier that could be the starter at a lot of different places, all right? And we'll see what his role is for LSU, but this is somebody that you saw continue to grow last year, talking about Jayden Daniels. And the things that he was bad at early in the year, I do think he improved on. Were there some games where you're like, man, that feels like the old Jayden? That feels like the guy we saw earlier in the year? There was. But there was also a guy continuing to get better and better. I mean, that stretch that he had of the Ole Miss, Alabama game, I mean, that was about as good of a quarterback that you had in any like 2-3 week stretch that we see.
Agreed.
Like across the country. And then you finish it out with a strong bowl game as well. So we saw him at an absolute high, and I think that high can get even higher. And, yeah, there were some struggles, against A&M and against Arkansas. That was some team struggles as well, offensively, certainly. So, I still think there's room for growth. And, look, it's a fair point. I understand somebody that started that many games, but you have to, like T-Wop said, you have a new coaching staff. Yep. You have a new philosophy. You have a new system. You have players around you that are Sunday players. You didn't always have that at Arizona State. You did your freshman year. You did in your sophomore and junior year. Now you have the same situation here yet again at LSU.
I agree. And, that Florida, Ole Miss, Alabama,
Florida,
three-game
I couldn't think what that third game was.
That's what made me look it up as well. I knew there was a third one in there. That is what you certainly want to highlight and be like, more of this. This is what we want more of. Emil in the chat saying that he can't believe that they would be convincing Garrett Nussmeier to basically sit this entire year, saying he fully expects maybe not like a 50-50 two-quarterback system, but some sort of two-quarterback system, and for Nussmeier to get SEC play. Maybe in games which you're blowing him out, some reps around the edges. I don't know, man. And this is not within any inside info or anything. Like, Brian Kelly has in the past been more than willing to do so maybe he will. I don't know. I don't see it. I'm a firm opponent of two quarterback systems. I like a guy to know that he's the guy. I like a guy to have a little rope to play with. I like having a guy that the entire team can look to and be like, okay, this is the guy. And it would be a bit odd if, when you have a top 10 returning quarterback for the first time in, 20 years, that you would employ a two quarterback system.
I obviously, I see what a lot of people are thinking because of the bowl game. We weren't expecting that. At least I wasn't. I don't know if you were, T, but
no, yeah.
As much of a rotation as they had, and it worked, obviously. I mean, you crushed Purdue. Purdue never had a chance
we know the elements. Purdue lost their coach, lost player.
Right.
It was never happening for Purdue.
So, will you see that? No, I would be shocked if you saw something like that. But it's a fair question to ask, okay, how do you keep Garrett Nussmeier happy?
Yeah.
Because he has come in and played well at times. That's the challenge of almost every elite football program right now. How do you keep the really good, highly recruited backup quarterback happy long enough for him to become your starter?
It's impossible.
That is the challenge across the board. That's why we saw, so many different quarterbacks dive into the portal that were kind of those fringe starters from a year ago. And that's why they're in a new spot. That is the biggest challenge. Well, not the biggest. There's so many challenges for these coaches. All these coaches have gray hair now. But you have to find a way. If you have a backup quarterback that has some value, you are 3 steps ahead of everyone else.
Yeah. No, I just, like you said, how do you keep? Again, I would be very surprised if they promised Nuss, hey, we'll run a 2-quarterback system, and that's why he's staying, right? I think you likely told him, hey, look, you will be the guy next year, and obviously this year, if anybody goes down, it's you. And injuries are reality of football, and they happen all the time. And so you are quite literally always only one play away. So I guess I don't know if I fully buy that he had to have the promise of a 2-quarterback system to stick around. But again, these are things that only time will tell as we go on. Ooh, feels good, doesn't it? Talking a little football, a little 2 quarterbacks. Man, it's like returning back home after a long journey away. A little cornbread, sports talk, food for the soul. I guess the question is, do we want to go to break and come back and talk about the top 10 as a whole throughout the country, or do we just put the kibosh on the football talk?
Which quarterback on this list or not on this list was the most surprising for you? Then?
I liked seeing Cam Rising at 6. Also, I'm impressed that Jordan Travis now getting the love at 5 that he is, because he was an easy 5 here. That's how the points break down. Remember, 10 points for first place vote, and 1 point for a 10th place. You had Caleb Williams in first with 119 points. So he got 11 of the 12 first place votes, obviously. You had Michael Penix at 97, edging out Drake May at 93. And actually, that makes sense to me given Penix's coaching and weapons situation versus Mays. Mays got a ton of turnover. Lost Phil Longo.
Lost Josh Downs.
And who's his other? He lost his top 2 receivers. Yeah. Also, I don't know that I'm terribly excited by Chip Lindsey. He doesn't have a resume to really like.
Lindsey and Longo, back and forth. It's some people love him, some people still have questions about him. I mean, Chip Lindsey's been a head coach before. He has a lot of experience. Yeah, but it hasn't always been great experience.
Yeah, the head coaching didn't go very well. His time at Auburn was nothing really to write home about. He did great at UCF last year.
Auburn's like a place, I don't even judge you off what happened. I just don't.
He did do great. But the point is, Drake May's got a lot to overcome, whereas Michael Penix Jr. is very solid.
I didn't realize Drake May had 700 rushing yards last year.
Yeah, bro, he can run.
I knew he was a true dual threat. Not sneaky athletic like he's probably been labeled, but actually an athletic quarterback.
Yeah.
700 rushing yards.
And 7 touchdowns.
Michael Penix,
5,000 total yards.
To your point, Michael Penix played at an elite level down the stretch. He's got weapons coming back. He's got his play caller coming back.
Yeah.
They've got a pretty tough schedule kind of coming out of the gates, if I'm not mistaken. At least some challenging games. It's going to be fun to watch Michael Penix Jr. this year. That's a team. The Pac-12 as a whole. We might be, watching their games between Dawson's Creek and One Tree Hill on CW, but Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, UCLA is either going to have the transfer from Kent State or a 5-star quarterback be their guy. So they feel like they've got a guy as well. You mentioned Cam Rising a couple of different times. The Pac-12 right now, it's going to cannibalize itself like it did last year probably, but it's some damn good football out there.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we go to break? We'll finish up this conversation on the other side, and then we'll move on as we close that hour number 1. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys, fighting for you. You need somebody who's going to get it done for you. You need to get Gordon. Coincidentally, you can also follow Gordon on all social medias by looking up at Get Gordon. They got some really cool stuff going on, right? We always talk about the G team, right? The Godfather of NIL. Providing athletes with compensation for their trades, right? For advertising and whatnot. And what it means is that they got this great Grubbin' with G series where Gordon sits down with Flau'jae, Angel Reese, Mason Smith is on there, and just kind of chops it up, man. Asks them about their journey, about their experience in college, what it's like to play for LSU. They are great conversations. Go check them out on social media at Get Gordon.
Yeah, you can go to the website that T-Bob just gave you, have a live chat right there on the site. We tell you every single day. If you can't get to the phone, it's a great resource to have, but we also encourage you. Area code in Louisiana, followed by the 8s, 888-8888.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown is back.
Join us on Saturday, April 22nd.
At the Ochsner Medical Complex at The Grove. We've got cooking teams of pros and joes serving up their best jambalaya and Cajun Creole dishes, all while helping raise dough for local families battling cancer. Bring the whole family for great food, live tunes, and good times. Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown, presented by Ochsner.
Saturday, April 22nd at lunchtime. Help us paddle it forward. For tickets and more information, go to clashofthecooks.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR. LSU football Tigers back on the practice field. We'll hear from Brian Kelly, and we'll preview LSU Tulane in baseball. Join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Hit the like button. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench. I love a lot of our boys and girls and everybody who hangs out with us in the chat each morning. And one of the great best parts about it is you all give us like such excellent kind of food for thought, conversational touchstones to jump off of, to use. And one of the main people who's probably in that crew would be my guy, Emil McClellan, as he's always got takes. It takes a lot of times that you don't agree with, but takes nonetheless. And Emil says, honestly, Cam Rising ahead of Jayden Daniels makes zero sense to me right now. He hurt Utah against Oregon. I said, bro, you're crazy. Cam Rising's a beast. Emil says, feels like he's on that because of the longevity of his career. He's a turnover machine in critical moments. So here's what I would say is that I just simply don't think this is true. I mean, I don't think you can be a turnover machine if you're 26 tuds to 8 picks. But beyond that, here is the stat. If you want to prove Cam Rising, on top of being back-to-back Pac-12 champ, right? Here's the stat if you want to prove how beast Cam Rising has been over the last 2 seasons, Jake. 2 seasons. Here are the only quarterbacks with a better QBR than Cam Rising: C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Stetson Bennett, Caleb Williams, Hendon Hooker. I mean, literally the best quarterbacks in the country who are all now going to be the top quarterbacks taken in the NFL draft, and the guy who won the last national championships. Those are the only guys in the country that have been better. So no, Cam Rising deserves to be on this list. Now, he is in a lower tier, right? Very clearly, we have the numbers break down. May, Nix, Penix, they're in their own tier. They scored in the hundreds, they scored in the 90s. Excuse me, not Nix. May, Penix, Williams in their own tier. Nix is a little in between. He scores 80 on this list. And then next, at 5th, Jordan Travis is at 58, right? So Nix is almost like, we're saying he's not quite tier 1, but he's not quite in the Travis Rising tier either. He's somewhere in between. Rising scores 38, Sam Hartman 37, J.J. McCarthy 35, Jayden Daniels 25, and Jayden Daniels, the Kansas quarterback, scores 19. Any other takes off of this list, Jake, that jump off to you as we put a bow on it?
So when you look at the future Heisman Trophy odds, I mean, a lot of the names on this list are going to have the best odds, but I think a lot of people would be surprised by the order of these Heisman Trophy odds. At number 1, not a surprise, Caleb Williams, plus 400. Reigning Heisman Trophy winner, looks poised to kind of have the same year that he had a year ago. Number 2 on this list, Jordan Travis.
What?
Plus 1,200. So Caleb Williams plus 400, Jordan Travis plus 1,200. Also tied at plus 1,200, Michael Penix Jr.
Yes.
Number 2 on this list.
I'm placing that bet this second.
Number 3 on this list, Drake May, plus 1,500. Bo Nix comes in at plus 1,800. Sam Hartman, you can get him on some books at plus 1,500, but it looks like plus 2,000 on every other book. So FanDuel has his best odds. But right after that, Jayden Daniels.
I'm not. Yeah. Wait, what's Jayden Daniels at?
Jayden Daniels is plus 2,000.
Okay. I think
so 7th on this list for best Heisman Trophy odds.
Now there is a world where Jayden Daniels becomes a real New York contender. I struggle just because I think LSU could have a lot of team success, right? I think I struggle to see Jayden Daniels having the overwhelming statistical success to maybe take home the Heisman. I like Penix at plus 1,200. But then again, I'm quickly becoming infatuated with Washington. I think I've left any sort of objectivity behind a long time ago, as I love the color scheme. He's a lefty. He has a chaotic energy. It's just a rocket arm. And for whatever reason, Jake, Caleb Penix and Caleb DeBoer just do great work together.
Yeah.
Like when they were at Indiana, that's when Penix was great. He leaves, Penix sucks. They get back together, and they're great once again. So, yeah, give me – and plus, doesn't it feel like New York would love to give a Husky the Heisman? You know what I'm saying? It's a little different. It feels a little old school in a lot of ways. It's been a while. I think Penix at plus 12 is the play there.
How about 17th on this list? Right behind Blake Corum, right ahead of possible Alabama starting quarterback Ty Simpson, ahead of Oklahoma starting quarterback Dylan Gabriel, right behind Marvin Harrison Jr.
What are you about to say? Who is this?
Garrett Nussmeier.
What?
17th
what?
Best Heisman Trophy odds, better than Spencer Sanders, better than Spencer Rattler, better than Arch Manning, of course, better than KJ Jefferson, better than Devin Leary, better than Cam Rising, DJU, Braylon Allen. Yeah.
How can you? What? How? Bro, that's crazy. I don't even. Vegas knows 2 quarterback system incoming. I mean, can you be a backup quarterback if you have the 17th best Heisman odds in the entire country?
Yeah.
That is that's really wild, man. All right, so that'll do it for the quarterback list. Interesting that as interesting as who's on. Again, it is intriguing that Devin Leary is barely even getting a vote anymore. Just 2 years removed from being the ACC Player of the Year, wasn't he? The Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, he
2
broke
years ago?
all of Phillip Rivers records at NC State.
My man can't even get a vote now. What have you done for me lately? Right, it's the ultimate.
It's funny. Brennan Armstrong's now going to be the quarterback at NC State. Now his best years at Virginia. He's going to have the same coordinator at NC State. So you had ACC quarterbacks move all over the place within the same conference. Dracovic, Boston College to Pitt. Now Devin Leary goes to Kentucky, but you had 7 starting ACC quarterbacks that moved locations.
Well, it's the ACC. It's not great for them, but at least you're not the Pac-12. We'll talk about that a bit later, as the Pac-12 feels closer to death than they maybe ever have felt before. All right, when we get back, let's close out hour 1 of OTB. We're kicking off with OTB mailbag in hour 2. Hope you're having a great spring break, and more Off the Bench coming up.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Deville, Donisville Glass and Body, DonisvilleGlassandBody.com or DGBAuto.com. You go to the website and you work with, or you can actually text with Kenny Frederick right there. Go ahead and line up at getting your vehicle taken care of. Remember, collision repair free pickup and drop off delivery on said collision repair. So if you get in an accident, the insurance company can't tell you where to go. The police cannot tell you who gets a tow. It's all about Donisville Glass and Body. 24/7 emergency towing. Never forget. DGB?
DGBauto.com is the website. T-Bob told you, 1977. You don't have a business that long, this successful, without doing things the right way. And they're going to continue to do things the right way. They've done it for me. They've done it for T, and they will do it for you. And we always talk about it. They're going to be transparent. No surprises at the end. With this huge bill that you didn't agree to, they're going to walk you through every single process over at Donisville Glass and Body. Check them out online. Again, DGBauto.com.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off new 2022 Jeep Gladiators and $8,000 off new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokees. All new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home, live Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because
Jimmy Otta and Mike Delicano for the Tuesday evening edition of Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers. We're at Mike Anderson's on Lee, just off of Nicholson. That's Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers, 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I'll be yours forever. You're in my heart. You're in my heart.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. It's chilling, man. It's spring. Just talking some football, you know? Spring football. Has anything happened in practice? Like, am I crazy? Normally, we have some sort of storylines coming out of practice, right?
Yeah.
I don't like this new stable regime.
You do, but you don't.
No, I don't. This is my job. This is how I put bread on the table. I need some scandal. Hard cut to like some awful headline that comes out tomorrow. No, I don't. Yeah, I guess you're right, Jake. I don't really.
Yeah.
Any scandal.
You also have a veteran team. You have a team that we just talked about it for 45 minutes. The quarterback they have returning, and so that is always going to drive a lot of your offseason conversation. Certainly, it did a year ago for us. It has many, many times here in Baton Rouge, but you feel really good about your quarterback room. Even losing Walker Howard, you still feel good about your quarterback room. You have two very capable quarterbacks. You have a freshman in the room. You have a high school stud that's already committed to you. So, you know, that takes care of that conversation.
Yeah.
You have your offensive line returning, your running back returning. You have receivers returning. You have your tight end
Mason
returning,
Smith,
right?
the best player on the team's returning.
You have a lot of the same coaches. You have both coordinators returning. Those aren't things that have happened, right, in consecutive years, like in a very, very long time, because they just don't ever happen as far as the coordinators coming back. So, like, for all of those reasons, it is a little bit, you know, quiet across on the Ponderosa there, but it's because you do have stability there where, you know, last year we had no idea how it was going to play out. We had no idea really who was going to win the quarterback battle. I mean, you still had Miles Brennan in the conversation a year ago. So it's a good thing that you do have stability. It's a good thing that you have a lot of the questions that are all-season questions answered as of right now. Is that subject to change? Yeah, certainly it is. You also have a year where going into SEC Media Days, I don't know that Alabama is going to get the media vote to win the West. They might.
The closer we get, the more I'm kind of with you here. Like I know it just feels crazy that they would. I mean, they're replacing. They are the inverse of everything you just said, except for recruiting. Like the players remain elite, obviously, right? But they are replacing quarterback, line, all your coaches. Like they have all the turnover, whereas LSU has none.
Yeah,
and LSU won last year. In Baton Rouge, which they never do. Winning in T-Town has not been a massive issue for LSU. It's been getting wins in Death Valley. So, yeah, I feel you, Jake. Media Day, you know, I feel like I waffle back and forth on this. But today, yeah, I'm kind of coming around that LSU may actually be the pick.
It's at least a debate. It's
You
at
also got
least
Bama
a
fatigue.
question. It's at least something that could happen.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, last year going into it, you knew. You knew exactly who it was going to be. You knew it was going to be UGA. You knew it was going to be Alabama. You just didn't know which one was going to win the media vote to win the SEC. And I actually think Alabama got the media vote.
Yeah.
To win the entire SEC.
Of course. Why? Well, I mean, again, remember Henry last year, we were all very intimidated by Alabama, to be quite honest, right? Best returning quarterback we've ever seen. Will Anderson, maybe the best. Like they had the best three
running back.
Yeah, they had the best three players at SEC Media Days that, like we had said, maybe one of the greatest groupings that ever been brought there. And I don't know, maybe Nick Saban's just losing his touch, right? You know, I don't know, dude. Maybe he's just getting old. He's out here complaining about schedules and everything, unlike the Chad, the true top G, Brian Kelly, Danny. Shout out to Alexis Morris and LaDasia Williams. They get drafted in last night's WNBA draft. Williams goes 17th in the second round to Indiana Fever. And then Morris, right after, 22nd to the Connecticut Sun. I never realized this. Connecticut starts with connect. There's a C. How about that? Then I was like looking up the etymology of Connecticut, and I was wondering, did it have to do with some sort of connection? But no, I should have known this. It's it comes from a Native American word, Quinatuquet, roughly meaning beside the long tidal river.
Connecticut on a heater.
Some of the Connecticut River.
Quinnipiac won their first national championship in men's hockey.
It's true.
Yeah. The Huskies won another national championship in basketball.
All it took was for Gino Auriemma to stop sucking all the oxygen out of the room.
Yeah.
He had to fall so others could fly.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gino. Your time is done.
Quinnipiac had been there 2 other times. Third time was a charm for them. They beat Minnesota in overtime.
I just can't believe Quinnipiac beat Arkansas. Crazy. And Florida and all the other great Southern hockey schools.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Patient Plus Urgent Care.
I like you.
PatientPlusUC.com, and you'll see the difference with Patient Plus Urgent Care. And I mean that like super legitimately, y'all. When you walk in the building, you'll be like, oh, I get what T-Bob was talking about now. And then once you go through the whole process and you get your digital profile set up and everything else, then you'll be like, okay, well, now I'm never going anywhere else ever again. If you're a business owner, okay, and you need your occupational medicine, and this everything from like drug tests, like Coast Guard's exams, stuff like that, Jake, go look at the Mid-City location of Patient Plus. They're going to get you right a cut above the competition. Patient Plus Urgent Care.
Quinnipiac has a player from South Carolina and one from Missouri. What are those?
No.
SEC states. Go to patientplusuc.com. Get in and get better. Remember, you can schedule that appointment right there online at patientplusuc.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit Dreams Come True, the local organization that grants dreams to Louisiana kids suffering life-threatening illnesses and their families. We've interviewed these incredible kids, and their stories warm our hearts. And none of it would be possible without your help. So we're asking for your support in our effort to making more dreams come true. Each year, our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today, and thank you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales service and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Tuesday, April 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 74. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of OTB Mailbag coming up next, and Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football joins the show at 9 a.m. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Feeling good. I really am feeling good, boys. 3 nights in a row, 6 hours sleep, uninterrupted. Feel like I could take on a freaking something that's tough to take on. A challenge or a monster of some sort. Yeah, feel great. Feel great. And I hate it because I tweeted that and everybody's like, just wait for the 6-month regression. I've been in this game. I'm not talking about a baby. I got 3 kids. Shut the hell up. Okay? I'm going toe-to-toe with nightmares. And I know it never ends, right? Everything comes in cycles. But you better be damn sure I'm going to appreciate this sleep after 4 months of not getting it. We are back.
Yeah, you want to get me fired up, tell me something about children.
Yeah, I agree.
It gets me so. Like, yeah, I know. I've got number 5 on the way. I know this game.
I
know why I'm in this game. And you know what? I wanted to be in this game.
Yeah.
It was my choice.
That is the funny part about having more kids is every kid you have, you feel like, oh my God, I'm completely out of time. How am I ever going to do this? And then you have another one, you go through that exact same thing. But what happens is you start judging everybody who has less kids than you, right? When you have like when you first start working and you have no kids, you're judging the college kids because, they think they're busy. I have a job. I'm out here. I'm a working man. I got responsibilities. Then you have your first child, and all of a sudden you look at your friends who are childless. Oh, they think they're busy. I got this human being I got to raise. They're going to keep this thing alive. Then you have 2, and then you're looking at, I remember how easy it was with 1. Are you kidding me? You got 1 kid. What is this, amateur hour? Just flitting around. Baby going to sleep at 6:30, getting all night to do it, everyone. And then 3rd, 4th, 5th. So, Jake, you are about to enter rarefied air as there's just not many people who can judge 4 kids' families. And yet that's where you are about to be. Like you're
5 kids' family.
No, that's what I mean.
Oh.
You don't judge your brethren. You judge those
Gotcha.
below you, right? I make fun of my wife for it all the time. So I'm like, hold on now. We were just that stressed with 1 and 2 kids as these people are.
Yeah.
We're like, no, it's different now.
I don't ever. Yeah, I do see what you're saying. I never get mad like at 2 or 3 or whatever. Like, but when someone has a child and their life shuts down and they don't go anywhere. And, they're playing around nap time. And everybody parents different. I'm not judging anybody. But I'm just like, all right, you got 1.
Look, I know.
All right, wait a minute. Hold up.
Yeah.
It's like 1. Yeah. Look, again, everybody has their own way of doing things. But I do find it pretty funny. Like, I say it to myself. I would never say it to someone else. But you're right. It's like, dude, I'm playing quarters over here.
Yeah, look, and plus, lest any of you come at me for judging people, this is something that I feel very passionately about, which is the ability to talk about others with your significant other. It's just what we do. It's what we all do, okay? And so nobody get upset about it. Nobody needs to know. It's what you do behind closed doors. You and your wife talk about your friends. Just the bottom line. And guess what? Newsflash, they talk about you. And it's okay. That's normal. That's fun. That's how we communicate. It's how we make memories with our wives and our others and whatnot, and bond and everything. It's all good. It's all normal. And just something to think about. Let's do a little.
Emil said Jake shooting for that 7th Heaven reboot.
Yeah, hey, you're getting close, dude.
I never watched Seventh Heaven. What's the premise here? I'm assuming the number 7.
I don't think they had 7 kids. Did they? Is that why it's called Seventh Heaven? I mean, it had Jessica Biel on it.
It was one of my few CW blind spots.
It had Jessica
Biel
Biel
on it.
Don't have many.
That was one of them, though.
It wasn't Alan Thicke, but it had a dad actor who has the feeling of Alan Thicke.
Alan Thicke.
On there.
That's a name I've not heard in a long time.
Danny, how many kids were in Seventh Heaven? I see you moving over the mic. Or is that where you're
I was
looking
going to
up?
say that the dad is Stephen Collins. He's
What else is he in, though? I mean, he's got incredible, like, sitcom dad.
he's in Always Sunny. He's the dad in Always Sunny. He's
Yeah.
the real dad in Always
He has
Sunny.
7 children,
that's right.
Matt, Mary, Lucy, Simon, Ruthie, Sam, and David.
I just remember having a big crush on Jessica Biel and one of the other sisters. As I remember, there was like one off season where one of them, I'm pretty sure, got like a boob job, and all of a sudden she showed back up on Seventh Heaven. I was like, oh, what is going on here? What is that true, Ryan Brown? Okay, never mind. This seems like it could be potentially taking a dark turn in the chat.
I did not realize that. That's.
I have not seen this crew in a long time.
Whoa!
I forgot how much time I spent with these this crew back in the day. All right, let's go ahead and do some OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
All right, Patrick Vines starts us off with a couple of questions. They're not really questions. They're more criticisms of me, as I once banned Patrick for talking about Daniel Jones in the chat. And he says, if you describe the skill set of Daniel Jones, you just say it's deity-like, S-tier, or GOAT. None. He is above average right now. We grant him the rank of good, not great. Do it again, Daniel Jones. Okay? Let's see it. And then he goes on to say, is T-Hub's role model for chat moderation Kim Jong-un, Joseph Stalin, or Muammar Gaddafi? I'd say Stalin. Just ask, who did I ban yesterday?
Lars, I believe.
Yeah, what do you do? Some of the Pelicans, maybe? I can't remember. Talking some crap. Who is the West dark horse? Ole Miss? Freeze at Auburn? Arkansas with KJ back? Who is it?
It feels like a 2-team race. Ole Miss was so bad down the stretch last year.
Yeah.
The way KJ plays, it's hard to stay healthy, and I don't know that he has the weapons around him. We don't know what we're getting from Mississippi State, and I'm not a believer in Bobby Petrino at A&M. So,
you going to freeze at Auburn?
No, no, not with Robbie Ashford.
So I was going to say, I would go freeze at Auburn hands down if they had a quarterback that I thought had a pulse. I like the cojones of Ashford. I just don't know that he can throw the ball.
Now,
which is a problem.
Hugh Freeze, really good track record with quarterbacks, so he could be a much improved player. If you're asking me, though, to give you a third team, Ole Miss, I guess. I've been fooled by A&M. Well, not really. I've kind of said it's not going to happen.
I'll go Ole Miss. I think their quarterback
media,
play is going to be better.
Yeah.
So, but I want to go Freeze. I actually think Freeze is going to be good at Auburn for all the jokes that we've made. Would you feel better about Jayden Daniels progressing with Cliff Kingsbury as OC? And we'll get to this. Cliff Kingsbury is back from Thailand, and he is heading to quarterback. Or he's heading to USC to help out in a pseudo quarterback coach role. No, I don't know that I would feel any better about Kingsbury as
what
OC.
you doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, go hang.
I think that.
He's got Lincoln Riley there. I mean, Lincoln's really good with quarterbacks already.
But what about Jayden Daniels? Would you feel actually? Now let me really think about this. Would you feel better if Jayden Daniels OC was Cliff Kingsbury? I feel like you would put up more volume statistics simply because Cliff runs a more volume type of offense. I don't know if it would lead to more wins. Like, I don't know that it would actually lead to a better win-loss.
I don't know that style would fit in the SEC. You could have some success. I mean, Leach did have some success. Obviously, at Mississippi State, Will Rogers had some really good moments. That's not the kind of quarterback that I think you have with Jayden Daniels. I think you'd be holding back some of his skill set.
Yeah.
So
it's true. If you were trying to just force him into a cliff offense. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Is it time to deal Zion yet? No, again, guys, we've talked about this plenty. Look, Zion's value that he represents now, like you could get nothing in return for Zion right now that would justify the potential of if he ever actually does get it correct, right? And so continue to pay him and him never panning out to me is a lesser evil than taking a bargain deal and him going and being great elsewhere. Like, sure, maybe you get the bargain deal and he goes and fails there and you're like, oh, we made the right choice. But that's a big risk to engage in. Because you know you do what you don't want to see? Zion on, I don't know, the Jazz dropping like 50 on your head. That would be the most disappointing. So, no, you just keep him and you just run with it. Hey, the Benson's got a lot of money, okay?
Yeah.
I don't give a damn about them having to pay Zion Williamson.
Yeah. It is frustrating, though. It's frustrating because you just don't know. It's a lot of the unknown. And a hamstring strain. Like, covering the team, you would love to know how severe that hamstring strain is. Is there a small tear? What is it? Because when you hear hamstring strain, it's like, 3-4 weeks. He'll be back. And I know that you're dealing with a very explosive athlete. He's got a very unique body, and maybe it takes him a little bit longer to heal. But still, like the fact that that's what we heard in January, we haven't really got anything else since then. We're in April right now. You're about to have a play-in game with everything on the line. He's out of that, going to be out the play. Like, it's like, make me understand it. Like, if you came out and you're like, hey, he's got a tear in his hamstring. Okay. Well, he got a tear in his hamstring. He can't play.
Yeah, say
But
tear.
when it's like a strain and you're like, man, a pulled hammy?
Well, what's kind of crazy, too, is like, we want him to be able to play. So out of an abundance of caution, we're going to have him not play so that he can play. But he's not, but not play. It gets a little, like, bit of twisted logic. Mark, I can see you want to add on something. What do you got?
It's dumb, and hopefully we don't have to revisit this. Hopefully he does get healthy, in the next couple of years, like Embiid, Curry, whatever comparison you want to make. But the Pelicans do have the luxury of having 2 starters still on their rookie contract with Trey Murphy, Herb Jones.
Yeah.
So that'll help financially a little bit. But this is going to be a conversation we have to revisit if stuff doesn't change.
I don't even think the financials, like T-Bob said, I don't even think that's as big of a deal. It certainly plays a part, Mario, to your point. But I think it's just the anticipation of maybe him coming back and then the team not really knowing what the dynamic's going to be because you're waiting and you're like, are we going to have Zion, who's this generational talent?
Yeah.
Like, what do we do? Like, is he going to come back? Because your team completely changes the way it plays if Zion's in there compared to if he's not.
I mean, look at how much they struggled they would have been the first in the West to completely losing themselves in the Zion void when he disappeared. Now they managed to pull out of it, but it was tough. It was a close run thing. Again, though, guys, 42-40, okay? 42 winning record. It's not nothing. Hashtag OTB
How many
mailbag.
games has Zion played in his career?
12 in the last 2 years. I believe 114 in the last 4.
No, he played 29 this year, I thought, huh?
Yeah, 29 this year, 0 last year. I'm thinking of the stat of Brandon Ingram and Zion. They played 12 the last 2 years.
He played 20. Okay, so I got it right here. He played 24 in his first year.
Mm-hmm. Okay, improvement, 29. How about that?
61 in the next year.
Crap!
Missed all of last season.
Did not play at all last year and played 29 games this year. So 114 in 4 years.
So he's getting paid multiple million per game that he played. That's excellent. Hell yeah.
He's averaged 28 and a half games per season.
All right, give me a quarter year, baby. Let's go. Hashtag.
I didn't realize he played 61
Neither
in
did I.
2020 and 21.
OTB mailbag.
That is shocking.
Him and Brandon Ingram played like 112 combined games. Too bad they hated Stan Van Gundy.
T-Bob, have we scheduled the Lord of the Rings Return of the King showtime? I will be going somewhere Thursday at 7 p.m. to see Return of the King and going early enough for the added Elijah Wood bonus content, which is supposed to make the runtime 4 hours and 20 minutes. But I'm not sure if it's going to be here or with family in New Orleans yet. So I'm sorry. I cannot say where I'm going to be at. Hashtag go to mailbag. Does Florida win the East next season? What?
No,
Georgia. What?
Georgia, then Tennessee, then South Carolina.
I know you want to do it.
Then Kentucky, and then Florida, as we sit here right now. And maybe Missouri's defense was really good under Blake Baker. So Eli gave up play calling duties for the first time in his career.
Oh, wow.
Could be interesting to see how that offense works out. But no, I've got South Carolina and Kentucky ahead of Florida.
Well, how did Missouri screw up that Auburn game last year? They would have had a pretty nice
That,
year.
you had to, like, you really had to. I mean, that game and Georgia.
Yeah, true. They were
the only team that challenged Georgia.
True. Hashtag OTB mailbag. If Texas A&M gets Texas, who becomes LSU's permanent end-of-season game? Everyone else has a partner already. I don't think A&M and Texas would be at the end of the year.
Make it Florida.
It's not going to be Florida. I don't know what to tell you. It's not
you and Andy Staples both can go fly a kite. LSU and Florida needs to be a thing.
Bro, Florida's winning in Swamp's literally the most memorable sporting experience I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah, then we should play Florida every year.
Sorry, bro.
I heard they got a big recruit yesterday. Florida Twitter was pumped.
Great reporting. Thank you, Mario.
Thank you.
Can you give me one other detail about the recruit, like a position, a rating? Don't Google.
Hey, you also you said Auburn was your dark horse. Give me one player that doesn't play quarterback for Auburn.
Oh, dang.
Exactly.
Tank Bigsby.
He's gone.
Crap.
You could have gone Hunter, the other running back. That's still there.
I haven't started to get ready for next year yet.
No, I was just saying, like.
Oh, Coy Moore. He's still there, right?
Coy Moore.
Yeah. Auburn's got a long way to go, their roster. And Hugh Freeze is like, he got there and he's like, we need a little bit more depth here for the SEC.
No, yeah,
so they'll be doing some deep diving into the portal, I think, here in the next couple of days, weeks.
Why do you need any other players when you have Robbie Ashford?
God, I love saying his name.
Hashtag go to mailbag. Did Hugh Freeze win an SEC championship before Billy Napier? I'm going to say yes, because Napier has to go through Georgia and because Auburn's just proven to be able to win it more in recent memory than
I don't know where Florida is going to go. This feels like a huge year for Billy. I mean, they were bad last year. They got their butt kicked by Oregon State in that Las Vegas Bowl. They quit.
Yeah. Yeah, it it was nobody.
And they had Anthony Richardson, who's, the darling of the NFL draft.
My bad. I was going to say only Ole Miss probably had a worse collapse than, or excuse me. Actually, no, Ole Miss probably didn't even collapse. And did they? Who had the worst collapse? Ole Miss or Florida?
Ooh.
That's what I'm saying.
I think Ole Miss, because their expectations were, 7-0.
Okay,
oh my gosh, they're going to do something special, and then they crawled to the finish line. That Arkansas game, they gave up. So
yeah,
I don't. Florida never. I mean, the Utah win to start the season, that was the highest high. The highest high they had was the first game of the season.
So crazy they beat the Pac-12 champion versus how they ended up being. But Swamp at Night's a weird place, man. Swamp at Night, it remains a weird place. Hashtag go to mailbag. Josh Hart learned last night that Jack and Rose were not real people on the Titanic. I remember being shocked by that back in the day as well. What's a movie character you thought was real but turned out not to be? Actually, you know who it was for me? This popped immediately into my head. Beth Harmon from Queen's Gambit. A show that quite literally changed my life. As now, over 2 years later, I am still obsessed with chess. Especially now the World Championships going on. It's all I care about. I'm like studying openings, playing constantly while I'm ignoring my family or on the toilet or something. And even though now I know a ton about chess history, at the time I knew nothing. And I thought that, like yesterday, my wife's trying to get me to help with him. I was like, shut up. I'm low on clock here. I'm winning this game. I'm working on my king-queen mate. About this, just leave me alone. And then I'll change the diaper. And my child just sitting in my lap smelling like crap. But I won. And then I changed the diaper. But no, Beth Harmon,
winners and losers.
The main character of Queen's Gambit I thought was a real character, but she is not. She's kind of based off of Bobby Fischer
I can see
a bit.
That.
So yeah.
I thought when I was young, I thought Jack Ryan was a real person.
Who's Jack Ryan?
So Harrison Ford, who plays him now? It's like a Tom.
Oh,
Clancy
like Jack
thing.
Ryan, like the novels that are all about Jack. Oh,
yeah.
okay,
I didn't know there was a book, and I'm young, and I was like, oh, this has to be a real dude.
Makes sense.
Or based off a real person,
What about you boys?
I think I used to think Rocky was real when I was young.
That's fair. I mean, a lot of people think Rocky is real.
Yeah, I'm sure he kind of is.
There is a boxer named Rocky, right?
Rocky Marciano.
There you go.
Hey.
There they go.
What about you, Danny?
I can't think of anything.
Oh man, great answer. You were fourth in order.
I know. We gave you so much time.
I love when I take the last good option.
Yeah, I know. Mario. Now that is true. Mario didn't ever really think Rocky was real. He just grabbed onto the pop culture life raft there, knowing that Rocky was an acceptable answer. Danny, you didn't think like Christopher Nolan's Batman or anything was real?
Benny the Jet Rodriguez, since we talked about it yesterday.
What about the characters in Dunkirk? Were they real? Was Tom Hardy real?
That's not a big enough character.
Kind of was real, because a lot of people went through that experience. Shout out Dunkirk.
The only time you saw the enemy in that movie was at the very end.
Shocking. I mean,
Tom Hardy.
still pretty. That is the coolest part about how that movie was made. Is that you make a war movie where you never actually see the opposing soldiers and it like really plays. Yeah. That was well done. All right, let's go to break. And look at that, John Krasinski is Jack Ryan these days.
Yeah, I hadn't checked out the latest season. It's on Amazon. It's been really good to this point. But yeah, I thought Jack Ryan was a real person when Harrison Ford was playing. Ben Affleck's played him, I think, too, as well now.
Affleck?
Yeah,
Really?
didn't he?
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like Tom Cruise has as well. I get Jack Reacher and Jack Ryan
was
confused.
Tom Cruise, which a lot of people were upset by because Jack Reacher was a
He's a
tall
big
fella.
guy.
Tom Cruise not.
Hey, but Tom Cruise has
Short
the
king.
energy.
Short king.
The energy. We've gone so long. We've screwed up this entire hour.
This
More
is the
OTB
first segment?
coming up next. Yes.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
That's a good one from Bobby Hotep. Private Ryan from Saving Private Ryan. Any war movie, you always got to be like, are these real characters? Because some of them are real characters. Right. Like I used to think that Patton was real. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Go there today. These dummies don't even get it.
They don't get it.
Go there today for all of your car needs, whether you're looking to buy new, used, or you want to rent. Get cheaper per day rental prices than your traditional rental companies. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Go to the website that T-Bob just gave you. And look it up. You can Google it. Go to the website T-Bob just gave you. Buying, leasing, or renting. Everything is available for you. Now, we always talk about leasing. T-Bob and I currently do that. Rentals. Right now, you got spring break. Maybe you got 3-4 day trip planned. It is still okay to give them a call. They'll have a vehicle ready for you for your trip. It is not too late. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Not only did she tell us, but this young lady, stand up. And this young lady
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
gosh, look!
Curb Appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown is back. Join us on Saturday, April 22nd at the Ochsner Medical Complex at The Grove. We've got cooking teams of pros and joes serving up their best jambalaya and Cajun Creole dishes, all while helping raise dough for local families battling cancer. Bring the whole family for great food, live tunes, and good times. Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown presented by Ochsner. Saturday, April 22nd at lunchtime. Help us paddle it forward. For tickets and more information, go to clashofthecooks.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
Charles Hanniger join us for the Tuesday edition of Hanny Time. Dwayne Colucci joins us from Las Vegas. We're getting ready for the NBA play-in and playoffs. Hanny Time, noon weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Give me your attention, baby. I gotta tell you a little something about yourself. You're one of our flawless, ooh, you a sexy lady. But you walk around here like you wanna be someone else. Ooh, I know that you don't know it, but you're fine, so fine. Fine, so fine. Ooh, oh, girl, I'm gonna show you when you're mine, oh, mine. Mine, oh, mine. Treasure.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Esther and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Team of Jake, Mara, and Danny hanging out with you. It looks like people are now ranking war movies. I've seen Saving Private Ryan, Apocalypse Now, Braveheart, Gladiator, The Patriot. That could be a very fun list to do at some point, for sure. Full Metal Jacket's probably got to be on the list somewhere. Should rewatch Full Metal Jacket. I need to rewatch Eyes Wide Shut. I did not say Platoon. Platoon needs to be in there. The Thin Red Line probably needs to be in there somewhere. I mean, there's just too many good ones to choose from. Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Amongst Thieves probably needs to be in there somewhere, just because it deserves to be in all categories. It's such a fun movie, and I hate you all for that movie failing at the box office, and hope every single person in here has it. Like, I hope you all like stub your toe to the point where the toenail falls off. How about that? Nothing too bad, but I hope that happens to you. Unless you go see Dungeons and Dragons, and we're cool, and we're gonna have a problem. Why are you laughing, Danny?
I just
screw you, dude.
You're old.
It just made. I mean, we all want Hollywood to do cool stuff. Just 2 weeks ago, we were lamenting Hollywood never take any shots, never do anything new, and yet what do? We vote with our wallet, and none of us go to see the new thing. We just go to watch Mario, or we go to watch whatever Marvel movie just came out. Whatever. Top Gun 2. Top Gun 2 is awesome.
Yeah, I was about to say, whoa.
Top Gun 2
chill.
was tight.
Waited like
Super tight.
30-something years for that.
I know. Hey, big night in Tiger Park tonight, boys. How about it? Number 11 LSU, number 1 Oklahoma coming to town. 6 p.m. ESPN 2. Okay, on the big stick. LSU's hot right now. 9-1 in their last 10. They took the series off of Mizzou after losing the first game. They come back, win the next 2. Third in the SEC, hitting 326 as a team. Second in the SEC with a sub-2 team ERA, Jake 197. Well, check this out. First 500 fans tonight get a free black LSU softball shirt. So get there, get there early. It's going to be great. It's going to be crazy. Now, God, All Quiet on the Western Front's probably got to be there too somewhere. Now,
but wait, there's more.
Unfortunately, in terms of expectation, kind of no entering this game. Like, we're hoping for the best, right? We're looking to pull off an improbable upset, because when you look at Oklahoma, you are looking at probably the most impressive, like, Jake, maybe you're better at having general sports knowledge than I am. Maybe you can find a better parallel for a team in another sport that has achieved this level of dominance. But right now, Oklahoma has lost one game on the year.
Yeah.
It was a 4-3 game to Baylor in February. Yep. They're on a 28-game win streak. They're 9-0 in the Big 12. They swept Texas Tech last weekend, and they didn't allow a run. Not one the entire weekend. They lead the NCAA as a team batting .380, nearly 400. They have a .988 fielding percentage, a team ERA of 0.91. They've had 70 home runs. Opponents are batting .150. They have 22 shutouts on the year.
Is that good?
They have 3 hitters hitting over .440. Okay, so make no mistake, it's going to be tough. You're probably not going to win, but I'll be damned if that means we ain't going to fight.
Maybe the most impressive stat, of their 36 wins, 14 have come against top 25 RPI teams.
What?
They're 14-1 against the top 25 in the RPI. They're number 1, of course, in the RPI. Their strength of schedule is number 13 in the country. And still dominating teams like they have. But, hey, you don't have to go too far down the RPI list to find LSU.
Yeah.
They come in at number 5 in the RPI. Strength of schedule, 15th best in the country. So, obviously, in non-conference, strength of schedule is 9th in the country for LSU. So, LSU's played some really good teams. LSU is somebody that's been battle-tested, 33-7. Is this going to be an uphill battle? Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
I mean, Oklahoma feels like they are as close to unbeatable as you're going to find with that single loss in a close game and have not been challenged since Valentine's Day, basically. Okay? So, but it's going to be a fun night, right? You play these kind of games because you're going to pack the park. They've got the shirt giveaway. They've got different deals as far as students and food and different things that we can update you on. And so they want a packed house, so go pack Tiger Park.
Yep.
You don't get these kind of non-conference matchups this late in the season very often, really ever.
Yeah.
This is very unique. I don't remember covering one where it's like this giant powers coming into another, top 15 softball team this late into the season. So go ahead, show up so you can do more of these in the future.
Yeah.
And
remember,
you're
ladies,
getting to look at, someone that you're going to be playing in conference play in the very near future.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So remember, ladies, no son of a gun ever won a game by striking out for her team. It won a game by making some other poor son of a gun strike out for their team. See, boys, that's a little patent for you. Okay, we'll bring you more as the show goes on. Yeah, look, I hope for the best. The LSU men will be traveling to New Orleans to take on Tulane. Now, Tulane not exactly Oklahoma, 9-23 on the year, but Jay Johnson says they're much better than their record would let you believe.
That is wild. And I know there's, obviously.
I don't know, Coach. 9-23.
I know. Since the 2000s, early 2000s, and Hurricane Katrina, and just where that program is gone. But my goodness, they were a powerhouse for a while. I mean, they were a team that was top 10 nationally for a long stretch there.
Yeah.
And they had, Jay Gautreaux and Michael Aubrey and all these players and, Micah Owings. And it's just like, man, that program has fallen on some really hard times. Now, I think it can be great again. It's just not great this year.
And so LSU, look, they're going to roll down. I am a little interested in who you're going to throw, Jake, because like we laid out yesterday, you're down on arms. I mean, I went and saw Hunt in his cubicle yesterday, and he was a sad boy. I mean, like super
I can
morose.
see him being
just
sad,
hangdog, just bummed out. 7 arms, you're now down, and we don't really know. And we'll ask Jay about it coming up on Thursday. But I'm just going to tell you, he's not going to tell us anything, right?
Is that what Musso was mumbling to himself when I passed him in the hallway?
Yeah, Musso was either berating himself for pressing some wrong button and telling himself what a just awful piece of trash, moronic idiot he is. Or he was just, complaining to himself about LSU's arms getting hurt. One or the other. What I'm talking about there is nobody does more negative self-talk than Muse.
They just don't. That person's not out there.
He reminds me of, you may or may not get this reference. Remember Dobby in Chamber of Secrets? When it was like, bad Dobby! And he's like hitting himself with the lamp and everything. That's big Moose vibes. for sure.
The guy loves his LSU baseball.
Bad news, so.
I found that out one of the first times I hung out with him. When we started this show together, we went to an LSU game during COVID. There wasn't a lot of people in the stands, but you could hear Moose over everyone.
Yeah. Yes. It was very clear.
One of the pitchers that we haven't really had an opportunity to dive into, Griffin Herring.
He's been awesome.
3 innings pitched in that game and kept them in that game after Ty Floyd didn't have his command. Garrett Edwards gives up 3 runs, gets hurt. He came in, only gave up 2 hits in 3 innings and struck out 3, allowed no runs, faced 10 batters. That's the reason you won the game.
Yeah. Where would you
obviously,
be without
you had the
Herring?
grand slam, and that was the play. But if Griffin Herring doesn't come in and shut the door on what South Carolina – because South Carolina had 7 runs when he comes in.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Like, the only way you can affect a comeback is if you put up zeros. And the only reason you put up zeros is Griffin Herring.
So he's somebody, obviously, he is going to be counted on, and we'll see what the Edwards news is, but he's going to be counted on to be that new Garrett Edwards in that role if he can't play.
You're now relying on Herring and Guidry in the big moments. You have 2 true freshmen that you're going to set up to be your critical middle relief, depending on availability of the other arms and whether or not guys are back. But yeah, it's again, I'll be very intrigued to see who throws tonight. Right? Maybe like Money would make a lot of sense if you're not losing him a lot on the weekend. Maybe get Little some innings.
Blake might have to be somebody that steps up. Blake was your Friday night guy a year ago.
Yeah.
And I know the results haven't been great this year, but they're going to have to get something out of guys like that.
Yeah.
We have seen him, go out there and have good outings against good teams. They're going to need something from players like that.
Let's go to break. When we get back, more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, and check out New Orleans Flooring. 2 locations, Metairie and Prairieville, or NOLAFlooring.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales service and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown is back. Join us on Saturday, April 22nd at the Ochsner Medical Complex at The Grove. We've got cooking teams of pros and joes serving up their best jambalaya and Cajun Creole dishes, all while helping raise dough for local families battling cancer. Bring the whole family for great food, live tunes, and good times. Clash of the Cooks, Jambalaya Showdown, presented by Oshner. Saturday, April 22nd at lunchtime. Help us paddle it forward. For tickets and more information, go to clashofthecooks.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
It's on. Join me for Tuesday's edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. The Tigers are headed to New Orleans to play Tulane, so we'll talk Glenn West on the Tigers and Sharif Ishak on New Orleans. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 11:30 The Tiger.
We're back. OTB. Hey, how about this, Jake? On 3, and this is very funny to me, but On 3 did their ranking the top 14 Big 12 coaches. Still very funny to me. The Big 12 is 14 teams, but you know, I'm into it. I got to say this. I've never been, like in all this offseason, I haven't really cared about the teams that the Big 12 is adding randomly until I saw this list. And I was like, okay, this is actually kind of exciting. I mean, I don't know. I know, I agree, but I don't know why, like hearing BYU, UCF, Houston, who am I missing? Who else is joining?
Cincinnati,
thank you. It just doesn't feel as exciting to me as now when you see Kalani Sitake. Oh, wait, he's a Big 12 coach now.
Yeah.
Or Gus Malzahn. Oh, wait, Gus Malzahn's back in the Power 5, like where he deserves to be. So all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, dude, I'm getting excited for this Big 12. In fact, I want to do this. I want to do what On 3 did on Off the Bench. Not today, but as we prepare for our offseason ramp, right, I want to rank all the coaches in all the conferences, or at least the Power 5. But this is kind of an interesting list here. They have Kleeman at 1, Sonny Dykes at 2. Are you okay? How are we feeling about that? I mean, okay. Kleeman's great. Okay, I didn't know. Because we were talking about we were talking about Sonny the other day. I know you love Sonny.
I just respect what he's done.
He's done a great job.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, would you put Kleeman over him?
I think 1 and 2 in any order would have been the right way to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about, is Leipold trading off of one good year at 3? Now, he's been incredible at every level of football he's been at. Let's be clear about that. He's a guy who won a lot of championships at lower football. Hell of a year with Kansas, but like, what does he need to do to justify being the 3rd-ranked coach in the Big 12?
He's got to do it again.
Yeah.
He's got to win. You better win at least 8 games. And I do believe in him, and I do believe just because of where he's been and what he's done, he is a hell of a football coach. But to put him ahead of guys like Gus Malzahn, Kalani Sitake, I mean, Mike Gundy a little bit.
Gundy's coming off a down year, but Gundy deserves to be high up. His run at Oklahoma State's been great.
Yeah, for sure. Dave's won the conference before, so Sarkisian.
Dave's at 8. How about Sark? I love it.
Sarkisian,
I love it.
10.
Yeah, because he's a fraud, guys.
10.
He's a fraud. I will die on this hill until Sark proves me wrong, and then you can all crap on me. But for now, I will talk crap about Sark. Texas was 7-3 when Sark took over, guys. Don't get fooled. Tom Herman did not leave the cupboard bare. He took a 7-3 team and now has made them actively worse 2 years in a row with some of the top talent in the entire country. Sorry.
That feels real passionate. But look, you're right. I mean, what they've done, and whether 8-5 last year, got beat by a really good Washington team in the bowl game. But, I don't think 10. 10's probably not right, but it's not above. It's certainly not above Dave, what Dave Aranda's done. Matt Campbell, has the shine worn off on Matt Campbell? Like, how's he ahead of Dave Aranda?
I have no idea. They were
list?
so bad last year. I have no idea. Avo Marzwani says, as a fellow Armenian, Sarkisian is so damn overrated. There you go. Avo said it, not me. Okay.
How about Scott Satterfield coming in at 13?
I was about to say, huge downgrade for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's Luke Fickell, he's probably 1 or 2.
Oh, Luke's for sure 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At least 3.
And now they're not 13. And then once again, I would like to take this moment to say, screw you, Neil Brown. You are awful. Dead last. And the 4 teams that joined are significantly ahead of you. West Virginia, what in the hell were you thinking paying Neil Brown all that money after going 6-4 in the COVID year? Absolutely pathetic. I spit on your leadership. I spit on Neil Brown. It's time to get him the hell out of Morgantown. All right, more Off the Bench. Close on hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off new 2022 Jeep Gladiators and $8,000 off new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokees. All new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. And it's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Home in Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
I drove myself to the ER, had heart surgery, and drove myself home 24 hours later, feeling fine. Starting running again after the procedure, I'm getting excited thinking about it. I had no pain, nothing. I felt great. And right then and there, I was like, oh my God, I'm back. I'm back. It's just amazing.
Ochsner Health. Long live you.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR. LSU football Tigers back on the practice field. We'll hear from Brian Kelly, and we'll preview LSU Tulane in baseball. Join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Get the Wrexham video ready to go here, Danny. NBA play-in games are starting tonight. At 6:30, got Hawks Heat. I don't really care too much about that one. I do care about T-Wolves Lakers, as the Pelicans would manage to win tomorrow night. That they would take on the loser of that game. Would we rather in the Lakers season, or have the opportunity to do so, but have to go against what has been the hottest team in the NBA, or do you want another shot at the T-Wolves here?
Yeah, I'd rather play Minnesota. The Pelicans had that game the other night and just blew it. The Lakers, like you said, playing really well right now. And Minnesota's down 2 starters because one of them punched a wall and broke his hand, and the other one punched his teammate. So
yeah,
I think
but they're not going to hold Gobert out of the play.
he's suspended for this game.
He's suspended for this
Oh,
game.
what?
Yeah, I don't know if he would be for the next game, but he is suspended for the game tonight.
That's dumb. Would y'all hold Gobert out?
I mean, the team responded when he got ejected or when he got sent home.
Would you hold Gobert out, Jay?
No.
Right, I don't.
Man, that hurts.
Because
That hurts everybody.
that's a team thing, or is the NBA suspending him?
I think it's a team
bad
thing.
visual.
It's a team thing, I
Yeah.
believe.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So it's not Adam Silver in the NBA. Okay. So Minnesota definitely the easier path to the playoffs, but the dream would be ending the Lakers season.
You know, if
It probably would not happen. You would probably lose, and it'd be the worst possible outcome because the Lakers would end yours, but it would be so sweet.
Yeah, you know the Pat Beverly memes will be abundant if Minnesota does not make the playoffs this year the way they did last season.
Yeah, true. Very true. Do we have that Wrexham video? So, Jake, you can set this up. What is this clip we're about to watch?
Yeah, so the Wrexham FC show that has been on FX, and Ryan Reynolds is one of the owners. We talked about it. Y'all know who Wrexham is if you listen to this show, but they're fighting for promotion, and they're playing Notts County. They both have over 100 points on the table, which is unheard of. They were both tied. Notts County actually had the number 1 spot because of goal difference. And if you get the top spot, you get promoted from the 5th tier to the 4th tier. So it's very, very important. Now, you still can get promoted through a playoff system, but it's guaranteed if you finish number 1. And Wrexham goes down 1-0, and then they tie it up. And then it ends up where it was 2-2, and then it was 3-2 Wrexham. And then in the 97th minute, I believe it was, Notts County gets a penalty, right? So all they got to do, they make it, they tie it up. They still have the lead of the league, but as we'll see in this video, Wrexham had other ideas.
Kedwin Scott. A real pressure penalty. Can he beat Foster? Into a 7th minute of added time. So much tension. Massive moment in the title race. This to make it 3-3.
Cheeky.
Only adding to the tension by respotting the ball. Scott for Notts County. Saved! Saved by Foster!
The cool part about that, Ben Foster is a Premier League goalkeeper that played a short run with Wrexham back in 2005 when he was on loan from Stoke City. He's played at Manchester United, Watford, Birmingham City, West Brom, and he comes back out of retirement for Wrexham because Ryan Reynolds made a phone call. He is he's been a longtime Premier League player, now playing in the 5th tier just to play for Wrexham, saves a penalty, now Wrexham on top of the table.
Great actor as well.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Buck.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green. This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown is back. Join us on Saturday, April 22nd at the Oshner Medical Complex at The Grove. We've got cooking teams of pros and joes serving up their best jambalaya and Cajun Creole dishes, all while helping raise dough for local families battling cancer. Bring the whole family for great food, live tunes, and good times. Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown presented by Oshner. Saturday, April 22nd at lunchtime. Help us paddle it forward. For tickets and more information, go to clashofthecooks.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Tuesday, April 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 74. Coming up on OTBOT, we talk to Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football. Coming up next, you can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo. Weekly New Orleans Saints updates with Nick Underhill on OTB are brought to you by former LSU Tiger and attorney Chris Perrette.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB, hour number 3. And we start every Tuesday at 9 a.m. talking to our guy, Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football. Nick, what's up, man? Thank you so much for joining us today.
You guys going to pay proper respect to Bo Callahan, though? You watch Draft Day? Is Jake up on what's going on, or are we still gonna act like this isn't a real person?
Yeah,
big winner, big win.
Here it comes,
big win from Nick.
Yeah, and like not a poll with no votes, right? So okay, for those that don't know, last week Nick dropped a Bo Callahan reference in an answer, and while I still maintain that I don't believe that most of you know who Bo Callahan is.
The people spoke.
They did. Look, we put it to the test.
What are we talking about here? You're just lying now. The people spoke.
No,
we got scientific evidence.
Voter turnout's a hell of a thing. Okay.
If anything, I've learned that the polls and the stuff you guys post on OTB, they come with the disclaimer that it's scientific evidence. It's not up for debate, and this falls underneath that jurisdiction. I believe.
We did kind of make that bet, I suppose. Look, gerrymandering's a hell of a thing. Okay, and I don't know how you did it, but you managed to carve out these little portions of the internet that actually like Draft Day as 1,000 votes later. So Bo Callahan's the main prospect in the movie Draft Day, a reportedly awful movie that we have not seen. But now, because we lost this poll that we have to see, we agreed to. But we asked you, have you heard of Bo Callahan? No context, right? Fair question. And 54.8% of the vote says yes. So in the end, Nick Underhill is vindicated, justified. Bo Callahan is in the public consciousness, and now we have to watch Draft Day. So
look, I just want maybe an apology, just some respect on Bo's name. I don't know, something, but we'll work on that.
No,
I'll give it to you. T-Bob one, I'll give it to you. I thought there was no chance, Nick, you were going to win that poll whatsoever. I'll give it to you. I apologize.
I think he used bots, honestly. I don't know. I don't know that I trust the integrity of the voting process. Were there mail-in ballots? I'm not really sure how the internet works, to be quite honest. And so I don't know that I can trust any of these results. But I will watch Draft Day now for you, Nick. And it seems it seems like that's kind of like all that's going on right now. We mentioned it this morning, right? SportsCenter Top 10 comes on, and I've got a men's beer league softball highlight. I've got a Division II diving catch, and then the number one play of the day was a Texas State routine diving catch in the outfield. Like, that's the part of the calendar that we are in right now. So when it comes to being a site, New Orleans Football that covers the Saints, does the best job, does an incredible job. What are y'all chewing on right now? What is most interesting to you about the New Orleans Saints?
So, I mean, the place where I'm at with it is this is usually just the time of the year where I go through, and I've learned how they set their prototypes by just studying them and talking to people. So we recreate that process and just kind of start whittling down the list of names that actually fit their prototypes. And, it's a combination of size, speed, hand size, arm length, all this stuff. And when you see it now, we're going Jeff Ireland back to 2015. There's enough evidence there to know pretty much exactly how they do it. So that's kind of where we're at. And okay. It's kind of takes a little bit of the shooting in the dark out of it, but I'm fascinated by it. And some of the stuff that I'm going to be really curious to see this year is if anything kind of changes at least a little bit. I know position coaches have a say in what some of these people look like, and I don't think we're going to see anything drastically different, say, on the defensive line, but maybe there's a little bit more open-mindedness towards somebody like Nolan Smith. 238 pounds. Typically, that player wouldn't even be considered to play here unless he could drop back and play in coverage like Haile Kakaha or Zach Bond or Caden Ellis being these undersized people. But look, if they draft someone, they want them to have a role on first and third down. So, I mean, that would kind of be where it would go, because you aren't going to blow up your whole system to be a 3-4 defense for Nolan Smith. Maybe Micah Parsons would be someone that you change your whole system for, but that would be, I'm just curious to see if there's going to be any change or any lean towards doing some things that look a little bit different, because some of the, the voices in the room have changed a little bit.
So I know a lot of what you're referencing. I've heard and read on New Orleans on Football about relative athletic score before. Now, interestingly, RAS has maybe become a lot of people don't view it in the best light, right? Because that was like what it was used to justify, like Peyton Turner and Marcus Davenport and some of these other. Go ahead. I mean, add context, because this is my interpretation of events.
Yeah, they don't use RAS. Like, that's not something they use. Like a few years ago,
interesting.
When I was doing this,
I attributing that to New Orleans on Football. Then I apologize.
No.
Reading about that in the past.
No. I write about it all the time. Like, it was something that I figured out a few years ago, just kind of going through this, and it was like, wow, this thing kind of perfectly captures what they draft, and there are thresholds, because it just takes everything. RAS, all it does is it takes all the stuff that teams would prototype: speed, 3-cone time, agility stuff, explosion, height, weight, arm length, hand size, all of it. And it just takes all of it and it distills it down into a single number. So if you are a team that likes big, fast, athletic players, which is literally every NFL team, you're going to have your players are going to score well on this thing. But what I did, like, I looked at it and I started studying RAS, and I figured out, okay, like in these rounds, there is a historical trend to where if a player has a number of this or above, and it's a scale of 1 to 10. So first round, going back to Jeff Ireland's first year, the only player, well, there's two now, the two players they drafted in the first round that were under a 9 were Sheldon Rankins, and he was short. So we know exactly why he wasn't above 9. And then last year, Chris Olave was at 8.64, and it was because he was lighter. So you have two guys, you can clearly see why every other single one above 9 during that span. So you can just look at this and figure out, okay, the guys they're going to take in the first round are probably going to be a 9 or above. And then you do the prototyping on top of it, and you kind of lower that net even smaller. And it's like, okay, these are the guys that fit. So no, it isn't something that they actually use in the building. It's just scouting. You aren't going to draft small, slow players. So that's just kind of all RAS is. It's just a number system of, okay, how athletic are these people, and do they fit the size of what plays in the league right now?
Well, someone that I've seen with a very high RAS that I don't really know if the production is going to be there, but physical freak, 6'7", 264 pounds. That's Darnell Washington out of Georgia. Nick, I've seen a lot of places, first round to the Saints, second round to the Saints. A lot of different sites have him going to the Saints. And look, sometimes that just doesn't work out. I tell people all the time, I thought I was going to Detroit. Thank God I didn't. I went to San Diego. But it makes sense. I mean, right? You bring Foster Moreau in, and fortunately, and then unfortunately for Foster, obviously they catch something very, very serious with him. But it seems like they want to add a tight end, and Darnell Washington is a very intriguing player. Although the production numbers might not be there, I mean, you are talking about a physical freak.
Yeah, the profile's crazy. I mean, he's a giant, and if you want a big physical player that can make catches, I mean, he fits the profile. And if you want to get in the red zone and just throw the ball up and have somebody that can literally just jump over everybody, I mean, he'd be the guy right there. I like the idea of him a lot. I like the idea of a tight end in general a lot. I think that they need that element, and he's definitely somebody that's incredibly intriguing. Mayer from Notre Dame, I kind of like him too. He doesn't necessarily blow you away with some of the athletic traits, but neither did Rob Gronkowski, and he's kind of probably going to be more of a inline type player that can give you some of that catchability. So I think maybe you're willing to sacrifice a little bit of the athleticism for some blocking ability. So he's somebody that I think maybe could be there at the end of the first round or 40, both these guys. But if either of them are there, I'm incredibly intrigued by the idea of just getting better at that position. And if you can do some 2 tight end stuff, even with Juwan Johnson and say like a Mayer, I mean, I think that just kind of opens things up a little bit in some of those tighter areas of the field. And look, they got to get more physical. Like they got to get more physical on offense. They need to be able to bully people a little bit. And I think that either one of these guys, but man, you give me 6-7 in the red zone, and I think Derek Carr could do a lot of damage with that.
How about this, Nick? So, taking all the information, everything that you know, I mean, again, I feel like just now you referenced tight end, maybe going with that second round pick. When it comes to everything you know about how these Saints draft, are we still at like a Brees or what Clemson? Like where are we at in that first round pick? Where do you expect the Saints to kind of aim?
I mean, probably to aim. I mean, I'm guessing they're probably aiming up already, as in like moving up the board to do something. I mean, that's just kind of their method of operation. I think all things being equal, you're getting a defensive lineman. I think all things being equal, like that's the preferred outcome. They have to get more pass rush, and like Van Ness or the Clemson pass rusher. There's a possibility maybe one of those guys is there. It's 17, and then if you take 29 and 71, the Saints' third round pick, you package them together. I think it gives you 1,125 trade points on the trade value chart, and then 17 and 18 is like 1150. So you could theoretically get there without having to give up a future pick. The idea of giving up future picks, to me, that's something I don't want to see unless you're going like way up to get, I don't know, Will Anderson, but like that's not going to happen. You're not going to get in the top 5.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see that. And, the reason I say that is I just don't know for sure what this team's going to be. If you told me in 18, like when they made the Davenport trade, I didn't hate it because it's like, all right, they're going to be picking 25 at worst. So, okay, you aren't giving up too much. I think the variance on this year's team, and I lean towards them being probably above that 9-win metric, but it's possible that they're below 9 wins, and then you have a high pick. So giving up a future first to me is something that I just absolutely wouldn't do. But if you can get to 17 and get your pass rusher, you're giving up your third round pick, and then maybe some of your stuff's answered a little bit. Okay. But, overall, I like the volume approach. I think there's just so many thin spots, and you just go down the depth chart, and there's just not a lot of depth at a lot of these positions. And kind of having a little bit of volume, I think, in the first 3-4 rounds is something that could really benefit a team that needs, I think, players at a lot of spots.
Nick, what do you think the kind of the depth of edge rusher is in this draft? Obviously, we're talking, a bunch of different type of bodies. I mean, you mentioned Nolan Smith and Miles Murphy from Clemson, going to be different kind of body types. B.J. Ojulari is a guy that I've seen the Saints maybe have some interest in as well. So, like, how do you think that depth of that class, as far as guys that can get after the quarterback, where is it at this year?
I think they got to get at it early because I think this team needs a difference maker. Yeah. And I'm just not, I'm not sold 100% on Carl Granderson being this guy that takes a huge leap next season. Maybe he does. Maybe that's underestimating him. And I also worry, I don't know that we see it yet, but at some point, going to wake up and Cam Jordan's going to look his age. And sometime, some year that's going to happen. I want them to get somebody early, and that's just a spot where you have to go early to get a difference maker. And even at the end of that first round, I mean, I think when you're drafting a guy there, you're drafting a maybe. You aren't drafting somebody that's necessarily for sure going to come in and make a difference. Guys that can make a difference just get overdrafted. There's no position in the league. It's quarterback, pass rusher, wide receiver. They all get overdrafted, and it's almost virtually impossible to find them in free agency. The Saints just got lucky with the quarterback, but you aren't signing guys in free agency that end up being in the top 10 percentile at any of those positions. So you got to be aggressive to get one. And that's why they went after Davenport the way they did. And I think it was the right idea, wrong player. And maybe you try it again. I don't know that you get snake bitten and fearful because it didn't work out the first time, or, you got Peyton Turner at the end of the first round and that didn't work. I think you have to keep going back to the well, because that's really the only way to find an answer there. And if they do somehow manage to become a good team and Derek Carr is what they think he's going to be, you are drafted in the 20s every single year then. And it becomes even harder to find that answer at pass rusher. So I think they got to go after it. And I think they need to pray that Peyton Turner stays healthy, stays on the field and becomes something, because that position, I mean, it is the one spot that just absolutely terrifies me. I could see a scenario very easily where everything goes wrong at that position.
God, it makes me. You talk about how those guys just don't come available, and then you think about you had Trey Hendrickson. It's a couple of years ago, and it starts to hurt all the worse. Nick,
I was so wrong about him. I can't lie. I was so wrong about him.
Look, man, it happens, dude. It happens. Look. Hey, you know what? Talent evaluation, incredibly tough, right? Like it's why the guys who get it right like 50 or 60% of the time go on to be the greats, because you just never know how guys are going to work out. Nick, I think we talked about this last week, but you know, my brain's just bleeding and everything's melding into one giant conversation in my mind. Do you think the Saints are going to get Hard Knocks? I mean, if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets, like absolutely HBO is going to want Jets, right? But I was talking about it yesterday. This is not a Saints team like we were saying. The variance is what it is. I don't expect this team to be great. I have no worry about Hard Knocks like upsetting the apple cart or anything. I want to see the New Orleans Saints on Hard Knocks as a Saints. Like I want to see inside that building. Jake laid it out yesterday. You got Jamal Williams, massive personality. You got the Derek Carr story angle. This weird island of misfit toys that are all rejoining once again together, even though they all sucked last time they were together. Like there's stuff to chew on there, especially, I don't know, Bears maybe a little bit with Fields. Commanders, get them the hell out of here. I would invite a Saints Hard Knocks.
I'm going to be a hater and selfish in my opinion, but like, I don't want to go home and watch work. One, two, like it would drive me nuts knowing that there are people in there that might know more than me. So like, it would just have me on edge constantly. Like, what does somebody know? Like, but look, I think at the end of it, it would probably be fascinating. You'd see things about them. You'd learn you'd see a whole new side of how things happen. So it would be educational. And once it got going, I'd be fine with it. You know, out of the teams that are available though, like I kind of feel like, if I was the league, I would probably want to push it. Chicago's eligible, right?
Yeah,
like I would push it towards.
Eligible. You got Fields.
I would probably push it towards Chicago. I mean, like make Justin Fields a star of the league. I think he's someone that could be, you know, potentially a face to the next generation. I think there would be benefits to that. But I mean, look, I wouldn't welcome it, but I think once it got going, it would be cool to see the Saints. And you know, it's just there's stuff that we'll never see. So if you can take us inside there to see it, and we kind of get a little bit of a better understanding of how things work, I think I would ultimately end up being okay with it.
Cam Jordan, right? Made for TV.
Tyron would be great.
Ooh, yeah.
The Michael Thomas stuff would be great.
Oh, dude. Okay, dude. Nick Underhill at Nick_Underhill. New Orleans on Football is the site. I'm a very pleased and happy subscriber for years now. You should join up as well. Nick, thank you so much, man. You have a great day.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
All right. Nick Underhill. All right, when we get back, we have some sports news, but then we've also got some weird, funny internet stuff to get to as well. So it's going to be fun. Fun rest of the third hour. Keep it locked. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN.
OTB, OT.
Want to remind you, go to Riverlands Insurance, okay? 225-206-1517. 225-206-1517. Anywhere in Louisiana, you call up that number, and Thomas and Megan Email going to get your insurance right, okay? Riverlands is one of the fastest growing insurance companies in the South. Named Best Place to Work in 2022 by Insurance Business Magazine. Largest writer of Progressive in the entire state, Jake, but it's not just Progressive. It's all the companies, okay? Bottom line, call Thomas, give him the info, any type of insurance, business owner, whatever. You don't lift a finger, and you save money and get great coverage. It's that easy. Riverlands Insurance.
Yeah, and we give you his cell phone number, not an office number, cell phone, because he's going to pick up, he's going to answer the phone. We tell you all the time, we've been with him when it's happened. 225-206-1517, but that is anywhere in the state of Louisiana. From North Louisiana, Baton Rouge, South Louisiana, like it doesn't matter. Anywhere. Lake Chuck, we're talking to you. 225-206-1517.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Not only did she tell us, but this young lady, stand up. And this young lady,
what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood.
Jimmy out and Mike Delicano for the Tuesday evening edition of Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers. We're at Mike Anderson's on Lee, just off of Nicholson. That's Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers, 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Oh, look at this from Gulf South. This is what we love to see. In the I've heard you chat. Riverlands Insurance saved me about $2K on homeowners and $600 on car insurance annually. How about that? $2,600.
Say no.
And that is not a unique story. You hear it all the time. Also, again, the homeowner thing is probably the most interesting because a lot of times we just roll that into our mortgage and like we don't actually know what we're paying. Okay. So Thomas and Megan, they're going to get you right, man. No, but this, Bill Baggins says that Asia Williams going to the Indiana Fever, who's coached by Christy Sides, who's a Baton Rouge native. Huh. It's kind of a fun little connective tissue. Jake, do you have any opinion on Cliff Kingsbury going to USC to join Lincoln Riley? Beyond, I'm just surprised that Cliff Kingsbury is the coaching weirdo that we thought maybe he wasn't.
Yeah.
That he would just take his money and go kick it for a little bit, but he said, no, I want to go coach college. Mm-hmm. Which seems insane. Now, I'm a little unclear. I've seen people saying quarterback coach, and then I've seen people saying like a quarterback-like role. I can't imagine that they would just get rid of their current quarterbacks coach, right? Or is Lincoln Riley the quarterback coach right now?
Or remember, like Cliff was going to be their coordinator before he got the Cardinals job. Like, so he gets the Cardinals job, and so like he has been, you know, obviously linked, attached to USC before.
Senior offensive analyst. There we go. That's what he's going to be. So not the quarterback coach. But I forgot about that. Before he took the Cardinals' head job, he was going to be USC OC.
Mm-hmm.
Makes that Cardinals decision all the crazier.
Because, Clay Helton was the one who hired him. He was going to be OC and quarterback coach. And then he's like, wait a minute, I can be an NFL head coach after getting fired from Texas Tech? Yeah, sure. I'll take that. So, again, he does have, ties to the job, I guess, and obviously like a desire to go there. I guess if he is going to coach and come back from Thailand, I guess like USC would probably be one of the few spots that I could attach Cliff Kingsbury to.
True.
So being in Southern
analyst,
California,
right? So maybe not too many recruiting. He gets to watch film. He'll get to work with Riley, quarterbacks, or whatever. He becomes a sounding board. Probably didn't have to do too much recruiting and crap like that. Gets to do a lot of film work.
For someone who was 28, 37-1 in the NFL and 35-40 in college.
How about this? So this comes in Warren Sharp tweet. 19-35 in the Big 12, 13-16 with Patrick Mahomes in the Big 12. Hey, but he's good looking and he throws the ball. Just sex appeal oozes out of Cliff Kingsbury, both on and off the football field. It's like the old thing, right, Jake? Haven't you never had a bald president? We like good-looking people. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm sure there's been bald presidents.
No, I don't think there has. I'm telling you. I think it's like a weird thing where we've never had a bald president.
Maybe not like fully bald, not like.
Look, I'm not saying that there's not like a baldine, right? I feel like a John Quincy Adams might have been rocking a cul-de-sac or something, but no, there's never been a bald president.
According to Google, Dwight Eisenhower was bald.
Yeah,
he was absolutely bald.
Yeah.
He was very bald.
1890.
Nah, what are you gonna do? Not 1890.
No, not 1890 at all.
He's a World War II head of the Allied forces.
Yeah.
Y'all's lack of World War II knowledge is unbelievable.
What did y'all do at Brother Martin?
You had never heard of Patton, and you never heard. You just tried to say that Eisenhower came from 1890.
He was born in 1890. Yes.
There's something out there about no this president. Maybe it's not no bald. I would say no fat, but then we've had Taft. He had a custom bathtub. Shout out to the big boys. Anytime you're so fat, the White House has to install a custom bathtub, and you're the man. Okay, bottom line, power moves only. Shout out Taft.
You okay?
I'm just trying to figure out.
That hurt me. You okay?
What?
That cough.
I've had a dry
that
allergy
came from
cough for
deep within
2 weeks now. Not very into it. Okay, there's been one bald president. The point stands. Okay, the point stands. And all it took was him to be leader of the Allied forces in the most important moment in modern human history. Okay, sorry, that's the one time where you can overcome your baldness and become president. Gerald Ford was bald. Yeah, but he played football at Michigan, so that doesn't count either. Okay, try again.
Aren't there a bunch of studies that people find bald men specifically attractive?
I've never heard that.
I don't think so.
I think that's a lie.
Maybe so. Look it up. We're just referencing a lot of untrue stuff. This segment.
Just
I'm
throw
trying
'em.
to find where I'm at in my notes. I don't even know that I want to do this. I wrote about the Pac-12 and just how it doesn't seem like they're going to get a deal where more than 50% of their games are going to be on linear television. It seems like the Pac-12 right now, they're saying the latest report is that not only is a deal far away, but that it's going to be tough for them to get 50% of their games on actual cable or on actual what we think of as television. That even now, it's like half the games are going to be streaming. I don't know. Look, it feels like I hate to be that guy because I tried to believe that they were going to survive this, but it feels like when this new deal is announced that likely it's going to be the end of the Pac-12. Unless they pull off some just incredible Hail Mary, because the numbers that people are attaching to it is maybe you could get high 20s per year in shared revenue to give to schools. which, again, the ACC is even falling way behind, and they're at like 30-something million a year in
the
shared
old,
revenue.
everybody's like, oh, he fumbled the bag. Everybody wants to say that now. Well, the Pac-12 fumbled the ball on the first carry of the game. It's been a misstep the entire process.
Yeah.
Now, your mark for the Big 12, he's done a really nice job. Now, did he get top dollar? No, but he got
Safe
real
play,
value.
Yeah.
Very safe play, but
Smart.
A step above safe play.
Yeah,
I would say. A little step
you're
above.
Right. I shouldn't say safe play. Again, like you said, a secure
Yes.
play.
And instead of waiting around and figuring out, he went and talked to the TV execs, and he got 4 teams that moved the needle enough for them to get the deal that they got. Right? You're losing Texas and Oklahoma. That sucks. There's no way around it, but it is what it is. You bring in 4 teams, though, that have a presence there on TV and that can move the needle a little bit. And they're in a good situation right now. And remember, we were wondering if the Pac-12 was going to take over the Big 12 teams and get all those teams to come out west. And now it looks like those teams like Arizona State, Colorado, Utah, like those teams want to join the Big 12.
Yeah.
And the Pac-12 right now, they threw it out there. Hey, San Diego State and SMU didn't do anything. Nobody's like, oh, yeah. That's because you would much rather add BYU and Houston than San Diego State and SMU.
How about, according to the piece that I was reading from CBS.com, after San Diego State's run, the Big 12 is now interested in San Diego State. So the Big 12 may even cuck the Pac-12 there potentially.
And the Pac-12, for whatever reason, doesn't want to have conversations with Gonzaga to be a men's and women's basketball because both those programs are really good. Gonzaga baseball is really good. They're like, God, we want to add members that play football. It's like, you got to be creative, Pac-12. If you get a chance to add Gonzaga, you do it. If Boise State wants to come in just football, to hell with the academic. Hey, you are floating right now without a life raft.
There is something wonderfully Californian about the Pac-12 hiring George Kliavkoff, a former TV executive, to be their commissioner and being like, this is how it's going to, he has all the experience in the TV realm and Hollywood. This is going to fix the problem. And then it's just blown up, just completely blown up. And ironically, the one thing they can't get is a TV deal, despite it having a major TV executive at the helm. So rough look for the P12 for sure. When we get back here in OTB, we got Bad Look for the Dalai Lama, Moaning Mike at ESPN, and maybe we'll play a little bit of Patton for the boys so they know who it is. Remember, there's never been a bald president except for the times that there had. More off the bench coming up next.
OTB, OT.
Go to All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. That's the website. Airline Highway is the location. Okay, you can go show up and deal with the excellent sales and service staff over there at All-Star. They can guide you to the answers that you're looking for. Time is now, boys. Get that Tundra and get some truck nuts and prove your manhood to everybody else in the row. Okay, or maybe join me in the MVG, the minivan gang. Be careful, though. I'm going to be incredibly jealous of you if you get the new 23 Sienna, and I may fight you for it because it's incredible. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
Don't fight anybody, T-Bob. Don't do that. Just allow the people to get the vehicle that they want. And what they want is going to be over at All-Star because they have something for everyone over at All-Star. Full-size, mid-size SUVs, trucks, van, hybrids, sedans, like you name it, they have it. And they have it in new. They're going to have it in pre-owned. They're going to have it in leasing and renting as well. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit Dreams Come True, the local organization that grants dreams to Louisiana kids suffering life-threatening illnesses and their families. We've interviewed these incredible kids, and their stories warm our hearts. And none of it would be possible without your help. So we're asking for your support in our effort to making more dreams come true. Each year, our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today, and thank you.
Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown is back. Join us on Saturday, April 22nd at the Ochsner Medical Complex at The Grove. We've got cooking teams of pros and joes serving up their best jambalaya and Cajun Creole dishes, all while helping raise dough for local families battling cancer. Bring the whole family for great food, live tunes, and good times. Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown presented by Ochsner. Saturday, April 22nd at lunchtime. Help us paddle it forward. For tickets and more information, go to clashofthecooks.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench. Hanny Time. Hunt Palmer. And
Charles Hanniger joins us for the Tuesday edition of Hanny Time. Dwayne Colucci joins us from Las Vegas. We're getting ready for the NBA play-in and playoffs. Hanny Time, noon weekdays, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Is this in the animated movie Heavy Metal? Anybody know? You ever seen Heavy Metal? Anybody ever seen Heavy Metal here? Never mind. Welcome back. We'll call this segment Internet Shenanigans. And we'll start with the Dalai Lama. As bad luck for the Dalai Lama. He had to take to Twitter yesterday. As I saw part of my take point this out. They're always on people when they have to use the Notes app for an apology.
Yeah.
And the Dalai Lama had to go Notes app yesterday. A video clip has been circulating that shows a recent meeting with a young boy asks His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, if he can give him a hug. His Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public. Before cameras, he regrets the incident. Let's see, Jake, if the song was not in Heavy Metal. Okay. Let's see if you think that this apology correctly represents what we witnessed here. No, back it up. I need it with sound. Back it up. We need it with sound. Okay, you ready? Here's the Dalai Lama being a bit odd. It's fine.
Edsa, my tongue.
What? Where? What? Where did it come from? It was so calm. It was, look, yeah, he gave the kid a kiss. They're like nodding foreheads. You know, it's all good. It's all copacetic. It's all chill. Dolly, the escalation of going from that to suck my tongue and sticking your tongue out is just an insane move. I mean, you are on cameras. Also, the comedic element of everybody being in masks around the Dalai Lama as he's asking a boy to suck his tongue is not lost on me. But that's just this is a bad look, Jake. I don't know. I don't know what kind of games Dolly grew up with. But tongue sucking just seems like I don't know, man. It just seems like maybe a bridge too far. And it came out of nowhere. Right? Like at first, were you freaked out at all? No, it's like, okay, this is normal stuff, right? Like even the kiss. Just give a look at a kiss. It is what it is. They're touching foreheads. I did not expect the immediate suck my tongue escalation.
I don't really know what to say. I'm not sure how. I'm speechless.
I know I felt when I saw this morning. I was just like.
In a crowd full of people.
What?
I don't know. I got nothing.
Danny, have you ever asked anybody to suck your tongue?
No, I was with a girl that loved doing that. I know.
Really?
Yeah.
So she'd be like, "Hey, stick your tongue out."
No, she would like.
Just like while you were making out, just start sucking your tongue, and you're just sitting there like, I mean, because did it feel good?
No, I didn't like it, but she did.
Oh, okay, that's cool, man. Shout out that girl. Look, we all like different things. I don't think you can suck kids' tongues. Is the kind of the point in all of this. And like when I first saw this, I thought it was all the Mario conspiracy weirdos just out here like being like Illuminati, Dalai Lama. But it's a bad look. It's a very bad look for the Lama. So
I don't even know.
Internet.
Yeah.
That's how.
Yeah.
The internet.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, aren't llamas kind of known for their tongues?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Huh. He's just doing a llama impression. Just playing a little llama game. Like all the boys do. In Asia. Chill out, Greg. In the chat. Okay. We can, because that feels a little dirty. How about we wash off with someone moaning into the mic in the middle of the production of First Take. Here is Stephen A. Smith, who, like a real pro, Jake, is just completely unruffled by what he's hearing.
Maverick did not believe
Back it up.
they were going to do a Maverick did not believe they were going to do a damn thing this postseason. That's why they made the decision that they made. So we can lament the decision. I'm just focused on the reason why. The reason why is we think they're not that good, and evidently they Maverick did not.
I don't know what to make of that. I mean, I wanted to say maybe it's somebody eating a burger or something, because I've definitely I've had very satisfactory bites, but it just sounds sexual. And then we need to think about what time is First Take on in the morning, and what person would have access to a microphone, and what would they be doing at that time in the morning to be moaning like that? I have so many questions. It just feels like a producer was watching a porn at like 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I don't.
While producing First Take.
Either that or Mario eating a hamburger.
Oh, okay, and I was thinking that. Like, I was thinking like maybe it's just a very satisfactory, like it's a good burger, man. And I suppose it's possible, but there were no chewing noises, you know?
It sounds like kind of an old person noise. Like, no offense to anybody, but
Fair.
it sounds like somebody like 50 plus, 60 plus, like scratching an itch or doing something satisfactory.
Yeah, okay, actually, Mario, that a lot of times the simplest explanation is best, and that would make the most sense. Older person doing some classic like old guy moves, maybe a bigger person as well. Could be a bigger person. See a lot of that in the production game in this business. And you're right, and they would have access to a mic. So, okay. Maybe not sexual. Either way, though. Ultimato says that's perk breathing. Yeah.
Carry the hell on.
That's kind of the point. It could kind of be just a bigger person Breathing. Holden says, I know so many cig-smoking Italians who do that, who make those noises. Okay. So we're good. We're good. It maybe not sexual, maybe just somebody out of shape. Maybe somebody who just did like a bunch of squats in between segments or something. I do want to remind you, go to Accutemp of Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com. All your AC, heat, and electrical needs taken care of in one spot. Accutemp, man, they are the absolute best. And the April, the premium clean air package has been extended through April. So right now, if you get a new AC unit installed, you get an $1,800 premium clean air package for free. It's going to clean up all the quality of the air in your home, so you're not having this weird allergy, dry cough that I'm having. You're not making weird moaning noises into the mic. Accutemp, going to get you right. Go look at the online reviews. They are the best. Also, $59 right now for an AC tune-up. What are you doing? Heat's coming, okay? Actually, kind of not. I wore the bomber jacket again this morning, not to brag. But the heat is coming at some point, and Accutemp is there for you, no matter what. When we get back, Ask the Bench.
OTB, OT.
Remind you, we are celebrating 50 years at ITI Technical College this year. 50 years, y'all. And ITI Technical College is not just a trade school. In fact, it's not just one of the best trade schools in the entire country. But remember, it is local and family owned. Okay, so this is from Louisiana, helping your fellow Louisianians. The 2022 Georgetown study looked at how much you pay for college versus what can you be expected to make in a career post-college. This is any school, not just trade schools. ITI, #1 school in the state. Top 15 in the entire country, and it's right here off of Airline Highway. So if you want to get out of your job, you want to get into a career, you want to go to ITI Technical College.
225-267-8003 is the number. That's the number to call to speak to admissions. We tell you all the time, they're going to get you to the finish line. Call today, 225-267-8003.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Clash of the Cooks Jambalaya Showdown is back. Join us on Saturday, April 22nd at the Oshner Medical Complex at The Grove. We've got cooking teams of pros and Joes serving up their best jambalaya and Cajun Creole dishes, all while helping raise dough for local families battling cancer. Bring the whole family for great food, live tunes, and good times. Clash of the Cooks, Jambalaya Showdown, presented by Oshner. Saturday, April 22nd at lunchtime. Help us.
Hey, it's on. Join me for Tuesday's edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. The Tigers are headed to New Orleans to play Tulane, so we'll talk Glenn West on the Tigers and Sharif Ishak on New Orleans. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
A friend just texted me and says, what does it say about you when one of your producers doesn't believe we walked on the moon and the other believes in the Illuminati? Oh, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what
I'm guessing
attracting here.
Emil texted us?
I don't know. A friend texted me.
1,000% Emil.
Your instincts have served you well here, Daniel. Also, I think Danny does think we walked on the moon. I think he thinks that, like, the coverage of it was fake. But, you know, science be damned and everything. Or I don't want to speak for you, Danny.
I'm like 50-50.
Okay.
But yeah, the coverage.
All right, whatever. Shut up. All right, let's do a little Ask the Bench. Brought to you by Cold Curse Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet. Ask the Bench, best Edward Norton movie. Okay. Chalk.
Rounders.
I was about to say Chalk Fight Club, but Rounders kind of. Rounders is a very, very, very special place in my heart. Very good movie. And he's done a lot of good movies. I feel like I'm missing one other one that I enjoyed recently, but I'll look it up. It's not Primal Fear, American History X. Those are very good movies. Ask the Bench. Will LSU football win the West and play Tennessee for an SEC championship? They'll win the West. They will not play Tennessee.
I believe Georgia again.
Yeah. I mean, come on, guys. Have you seen the schedule? Ask the Bench. What's the weirdest noise you ever got caught making?
I don't know.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always, public loud flatulence is always embarrassing. I don't know if it's particularly weird, but it's a bad look.
I laughed one time. My voice cracked really bad when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Everybody laughed. Still happens time to time.
Yeah. At least you're not on like a public forum where everybody can hear anything. Ask the Bench. Who is the next Woodward hire to win national championship? Now that Mulkey's off the list.
Jay Johnson.
Yeah, gotta be. Right. It's just harder. We're not harder in football, but like LSU has a team that looks already potentially capable this year if they can get healthy. Ask the Bench. Which conspiracy theory do you think has merit? I mean, I'm always into JFK stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say that's chalk, but
very chalky.
Yeah.
Scott Foster being dirty. Is that a conspiracy?
I'm kind of into that too. Mars kind of brought me around on this whole the Scott Foster CP3 stuff's insane.
Insane.
At a certain point, a mathematical anomaly, there's intent behind it. And CP3's 0 for 15 as that's 15 games that Scott Foster's ref. That's crazy.
Yeah, and the free throw disparity and the clip of D'Angelo Russell saying Scott Foster's refereeing, let's take it to the hole.
Yeah.
Could all be coincidence.
And the other NBA conspiracy theory with the draft back in the day.
Yes.
With the bent corner and everything.
Yeah. Patrick Ewing.
Okay, a little bit there. Ask the Bench, how old are the LSU Indian Mounds? 100?
A couple 100 years.
1,000,000 years old. That's what the latest science is saying. 1,000,000 years old. I actually don't remember how old they are. Well, they're cool. 100. Ask the Bench, does Jayden Daniels get drafted next season?
Yes.
Yeah. Like Jake told you earlier this show, he probably would have gotten drafted this year. I do want to remind you, go to RejuveMeMedical.com, restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate me. Right? Feel younger, better, maybe hormone replacement therapy for you, maybe it's not. Get your labs drawn, see what your body needs, where it's efficient. If you go in and you learn like Jake did that you just have the T of Adonis, of a Greek god, you're probably not going to need HRT. Okay? If you go in, they tell you like they told me that you have the T of a 60-year-old man, then yeah, it's probably going to be good for you, okay? Also, ask about metabolization optimization while you're there. RejuveMeMedical.com. Ask the bench, would you rather suck someone's tongue or lick someone's teeth? Definitely suck a tongue.
Yeah.
Licking teeth sounds gross.
It does. That's very gross.
I kind of want to do it now.
Oh, God.
Why'd you look at Danny when you said that?
He's got a good smile. Look at that little Zion boy back there. Come here, Danny. Let me Dalai Lama you. Let me lead you to some Buddhist awakening. Not a good moment if I'm trying to get HR on my side. Y'all have a great day. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow.
OTB, OT.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down my last dime. Come on, live Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.